I should not be muted. But are you muted? What do I got? Now the question is, can chat hear both of us is the final question. And I also am going to post our, because if it's right, it should be good. But if it's wrong, it could be wrong. Let's find out. It's all right. You're huge. Ugh, the same problem forever.
Oh no.
All right, let's try this again. Now you should be able to hear her.
No, should be able to hear me. Dave is aggravated by the situation.
I'm incredibly displeased by the fact that it's a problem. Yeah, there's like a mild, I think the buzzing's from Gemma.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I think there's like a mild buzzing from you.
What could it be? Wait a minute, let me see if it's the headphone.
Well, the buzzing's gone, but now we also can't hear you. I
can't hear you now, so
you can't hear me.
I've obviously screwed everything up.
Oh my god! All right, good. This is a problem that's Gemma's fault. Which okay, whatever.
Now is that less buzzing or more buzzing?
No, now it's good.
Is it good now? Is the buzzing gone?
No, I don't hear any buzzing. You can ask the chat. I'm gonna publicize ours.
Did the buzzing go away when I unplugged my headset? Could be the headset. It sounds good. Well, maybe it's just the Skype nonsense bollock crap.
It might be just the Skype nonsensey bollock. Who else
The Skype nonsense bollock. For some reason, a singular bollock feels dirtier than just bollocks.
One X bollock.
One bollock is just so specific compared to just a broad range of bollocks.
Wait, what? Carol said I lied about Hanafuda. I did not lie about Hanafuda.
I think that was last week. No, we didn't play any Hanafuda.
Did I talk about it? Did I repaste something? Oh no. Anyway, it all happened. So here we are, back in the mix. And I guess we can talk a little bit about we'll go to the big window. So we're all big. We can talk a little bit about what have we been up to? What's been going on?
I think, is it Binal you recommended the book to me about Theranos? Thank you. I've been reading it. I'm only about halfway through at the moment, but I have been enjoying it. It has been, yeah.
How interesting.
I love that kind of, thank you, Binal. It is super interesting. I don't know, I'm really obsessed with that kind of activity, especially when it comes from females. I think there's almost an expectation sometimes.
Females.
No, I think the way we view them is different, right? Because first of all, it's relatively new that women can get themselves into these situations where they can generate these vast con schemes, right?
Well, let's be a little fair. Hold on.
Okay.
She had a whole bunch of dudes helping her the whole way.
Oh no, I know, but she's still the center of it. She's still the center of it, right?
She was made the face for sure.
Yeah. Yeah, and then we can have a conversation about this relationship she had with this older man and how much that impacted it. But I think the way society treats these individuals is slightly more interesting than the way we treat male con men. And I think the way they interact with their con is different because of that.
And
part of it, I'm going to fall into lots of stereotypes here. But as a female, I feel I'll be able to say some stuff.
You're at least allowed to say this stuff without people assuming that you're saying it in bad faith. So,
right, exactly. So I think, it can be very difficult to be a successful female, especially a successful female in a situation environment like Silicon Valley, right? Which is quite known for its sort of, Dave might correct me here, but like sort of a bro culture, it's very extreme. Like these coders, they're working long hours. They're doing these things that females don't tend to do for, various social reasons, right?
Yeah, to be honest, if I'm going to provide a little bit of input there, I don't really hang out in California. I don't know the Silicon Valley.
No, exactly.
You are correct. It is generally considered to be a kind of like bro-y, guys all know guys. There's definitely a lot of misconduct. So like you're not wrong, at least in terms of what it's known for. People who live there might have better.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I'm not going to say this, but this is definitely the view, right?
Right.
And so even I've operated in sort of male dominated fields, and to operate in those fields as a female can drive behaviors in you that you may not see in a more mixed gender environment, let's say. And I think that some of those behaviors can be quite negative. in slightly different ways to the way the negative behaviors are generated and viewed. I don't know. Again, now I'm going to pull into my British culture, and I think that often when men in these bro cultures operate in that way, it becomes banter, right? It's for the bants.
Well, it's a little tough. I mean, again, I'm gonna hashtag not all men this. No, I'm gonna say it is I think a fundamental communication issue where there are jokes that two people of any backgrounds can make with each other that will be seen as obviously not real or not threatening or obviously a joke. Whether that joke is appropriate or not, it'll be obvious. But then sometimes when you mix company, again, between any real groups, saying the same thing can come off as weird or threatening or indicative of a bad attitude or something like that. And that's one of the big challenges. I think you have a lot of people who are very used to being in this boys will be boys environment. And even...
So then... Okay, as a female, you walk into that, right? You're looking around and you're like, okay, well, the boys are going to be the boys. Where do I sit in this, right? And then you start getting some peculiar behavior, I'd say, from women. And I've seen it before in women who have, started to get promoted up a particular corporate ladder. I don't relish those behaviors. I don't think those behaviors are particularly good, but I can see why they're doing them. They're practical behaviors.
You don't want to lean in?
Yeah, leaning in. But they're practical behaviors.
To some degree. And I think also you get, again, and this isn't about any particular group, you get like survivor bias.
Yes.
It's very hard for someone to say like, here I am at the top of the mountain because the world threw a dart and it happened to hit me. And in a lot of cases, that's just true. Like you just got lucky. You want to build this story about how something you did or thought or said was actually really good and smart, and that's why. And it doesn't mean you're dumb or anything. It doesn't mean you're bad.
Yeah, but I think that's particularly pertinent though for obviously this Elizabeth Holmes lady, because she was already rich. She didn't actually have to do this to herself, and this is where it's different from the Anna Sorokin, which Bionel just pulled up, and that woman wasn't rich. And I find that really even more super interesting that she looked at this kind of this hyper-capitalistic, again, slightly misogynistic male culture, and she's like, what practical actions do I have to take so that I succeed? And lots of men are doing all the things she does all the time. They're dressing in a different way, they're speaking in a different way to ensure that they can get the investment that they want in whatever crazy ass thing like Fire Festival.
For the record, Yakuman nonsense is coming. We always preamble with this sort of thing. But I will say this also shows that there is no man behind the curtain. Like that someone can just walk in and be like, oh, look at this, look at the circles of the ultra rich. If I just act like them and hang out with them and say the right things to them, they'll treat me like I'm a cool entrepreneurial genius too, because guess what? There's very little factual basis, at least on the front. On the back end, you can see if someone does succeed or not at building a business, right? There's a quantifiable endpoint. But on the front end, it's like, I don't know, man, you know the right person. You said the right thing. You sure gave a great presentation. Have $2 billion to do it. And you see that with WeWork also. WeWork was a great example. Someone just using connections to build an absolutely nonsensical business that immediately imploded the minute someone just like looked at the books and was like, yeah, so look at FTX. So let me
Also, Mahjong Index, I think you should order a Yellowtail. I love Yellowtail. Yellowtail is the best. Yeah, but I like sashimi Yellowtail and less sushi, but I'll eat Yellowtail sushi. I'm not even a big fish fan, but Yellowtail I am on board with. And just to bring back, Elizabeth Holmes has been sentenced to a custodial sentence, which I was surprised because she's pregnant. I was sure. I'm sure they'll let her postpone it until she's had a baby. I hope they do at least. I mean, America's probably not as bad as we are. We let women give birth in prison and then kill their children.
Wait, what?
Oh man. Yeah, the prison, overall, I'd say the American prison system is a shithole and way worse than our system.
The American prison system has a lot of problems.
I know, but in the UK, if you're pregnant, they won't get you a doctor. You'll have to give birth on your own in the cell, and then your baby dies. I know it's horrendous. Like just Google it. Some of the stories that have happened. You're like, and this is the first world country.
Which was just like a place that they put you, and we're like, sure hope nothing bad happens to you in this place. You just can't leave, and
some of the tales are awful, though. I'm just like, and really, like, and whatever the mother has done, I'm not going to have those conversations. But you should not. The child is blameless.
I'm going to bring up some Mahjong so we can look at some Mahjong.
Anyway, so Dave, before we start, this is your second Yakuman. No,
okay, let's talk broadly speaking.
Hide the wall first. Hide the wall. Well, anyway, like broadly speaking, you do realize that Yakuman come in threes. So
Oh
this
wait,
is your
what?
second.
No,
Oh, did you
no, no!
not know this?
Don't put me.
Oh no,
Hold
it's
on.
no. This is the hard truth. Like it's the way it's always been.
I need to change this slightly because I want to make sure.
No, EMP, it's true. Did you not? They always come in threes.
Hold on, I'm gonna swap back out of this.
Mm-hmm,
I
mm-hmm,
need
mm-hmm.
to just straight up do this slightly differently. I apologize.
Yakuman come in threes. You don't have to do Yakuman in over 1,500 games. Well, have you had one?
That's harsh. Have you
No,
even
it's not
had
hard.
one?
No,
God.
come on. You have two. Oh, your third's coming then. Don't worry. And then you'll have none ever again.
That's probably true.
Unless you change your life somehow, and then you can have a third.
Okay, hold on.
Are you blocking it? Are you sure you're not blocking it?
Yeah, I'm making sure to properly manage everything. So give me 1 second to change
Yeah.
the.
And yeah, it's obviously your not fault if you don't get the Yakuman. The only time my Yakuman have not come in threes is when I got an actual 10 hole. I didn't get a 3 Yakuman then. I think I used up all my luck for about 10 years then.
There we go.
Yeah,
Okay.
manifesting Yakuman Valencia. Ah, yeah,
now I
yeah,
can bring
yeah.
this back up. Sorry about that. And now I can go and get rid of the wall. And now
What?
we can look at the game.
When is the Valencia
okay,
event?
Cool. We're all good. Sorry about that.
Okay. Yes.
All right,
So
yeah, Valencia. All right. So let's talk a little bit about the background.
nice.
I've been playing in ARML, the American Reach Mahjong League, and so some of the games we talk about are going to come from there. I'm in because I joined the season. I'm in the bottommost league, the B3 league, which is a pretty diverse skill set. Basically, the way it works is newcomers will come in at the bottom. You play through the league. The people who end up at the top of their respective leagues get promoted. The people who end up at the bottom will get demoted.
How many people get promoted and how many
Well, that's a
people get
question mark, to be practical. Right now, I believe it's the top 7 people in each league are demoted, but it's only 5 for the upper leagues. And then it also depends on how many people continue or don't continue playing, because sometimes people say, well, I don't want to be in next season. So it's a little bit variable, but I'd say like 5 to 7 people. The B3 league is a very big league. There's 36 people in it. The upper leagues have, I believe, about 20 people in each of them. So just to get a general idea as to what's been going on. So these games are people, get broken up into groups of 4, and they play a set of 4 games, and there are 6 sets of games that end up getting played. So that's kind of where we're at. So this is the second game from my set of a couple evenings ago. The first game, I wrangled out of first place. It was a little bit dicey. It was a very... Oh, no, the first game, you know what I liked about the first game? The first game made me personally very happy because I won a Rion Peiko. And I feel like Rion Peiko had been flirting with me for so long.
Okay, no, you haven't got any more Yakuman coming.
Come on.
Dan Peiko stands in for another Yakuman because everyone knows it's a bullshit Yaku, which no one ever gets.
It's a really bullshit Yaku, and I was very fortunate to win Rion Peiko.
I'm sorry, I didn't. You have got no more Yakuman coming. Is that what happened to your EMP? Did you get a Rion Peiko? Is that how that works?
Is undervalued. Yes.
It kills the potential for Yakuman in your luck. That's just how it does. It just wipes it out. It was like insane.
reach Pinfu Tanya Rion Peiko. I was like, okay, that was I was just like, at that point I was just like, that is a moral victory. I no longer, whatever happens here, I've won in my heart by getting Rion Peiko. I've done good for me.
EMP hasn't had one Rion Peiko over 1,500 games. I mean, that's what Rion Peiko's like. It's bullshit. Yeah. Everyone hates it.
There have just been so many games where it's been like, it's been flirting with me, and I've been like, ooh, could it be Rion Peiko? I don't want to rule it out. And then the game's just like, no, it's not Rion Peiko, and it's never Rion Peiko, and you're stupid for even thinking about it.
Rion Peiko, like, winking at you from across the room.
Or like, I'll go into reach, and I could get Rion Peiko. I dealt in. Which happened. You go into reach, it happens. It's not a bad reach necessarily, but it's just it's not happening. So I got it. Great. I ended up squeaking out a win in that game. Cool, whatever. And so I start up this second game to go, and I'm kind of going to start from the beginning of the second game and just sort of, I guess, walk my way through it as to what I was thinking. So this is from the perspective of me, to respect my fellow ARML players, and just because I'm not really sure what the policy is, everyone else is anonymized, and I'm just not going to talk about specific people other than say abstractly this player seems to be blah-de-blah-de-blah. So I forget what happens in this. I think this first hand is pretty humdrum. So what is it? I'm starting north.
That's a good word. Huh.
Yeah.
We've not used that word. That's the word my grandparents would use. I like that. Humdrum.
Here we have 6 man is the Dora, of which I have none, of which no one except West has 1 hanging out. But interestingly, the 7s are actually already pretty occupied in people's hands. So the dealer draws their second 3. An immediate great draw for South with the 6.
Good luck to pass, Dave.
Awesome. Good luck to pass. Yeah, let's hope Past Dave does okay. I only show games where I do well because I'm very, very vain.
Yeah, you shouldn't do that. You know that. You know that's bad form. Like, not just sorry, bad form's not the right way.
I'll find after we look at this. I'll find a game where I lost real bad.
But you know, you get the best constructive feedback on the games that you lost.
Well, that's true. It's true. It's easy to be like, look at this Yakuman I won, everyone. What do you think I should have done? And they're like, oh, you probably should have gone for the Yakuman and then gotten it. It's like, yeah, I'm so smart. Dave was so young. Yeah, Dave was so young. Young Dave didn't know what he was doing.
Boom.
Okay, so player across immediately grabs a white dragon. They have Hakudora, so they're kind of pushing in that direction. I noodle around a little bit. Now they have their 4, 5, 6 together. West now has a pair of East, so they're obviously interested in grabbing that. 8-pin comes out. I don't really know what I'm thinking here with these tiles. I got a pair of 1s and 7s, which is kind of like dumb. I have this 2, 2, 4, 5, 6, which is nice, but then I have this 9 Haku Hots. And I know I'm thinking right off the bat this Haku is the safest tile in the universe right now. I'm very happy to have it. And this Hots is now pretty, like, 1's come out. It's not hard safe, but it's like, okay, now 2 are out. Now I'm like, all right, so I got 2 safe tiles.
Boom.
They grab the 2. And at this point, in this environment at least, at this point, I'm kind of like, I'm not winning this hand.
Yeah.
This is where I've decided I'm not winning this hand.
Boom.
Player across is going, no, this is even worse. 2 players have gone aggressive with calls. I'm done.
Yeah.
Well, I guess I'm keeping open this little 2, 3, 4 option, but I know I have a 4 safe. I have a pair of 1-mon, which are hard safe on the player across from me, which is nice. I have this Haku. So I'm just hanging out. The dealer hasn't shown anything yet. Another call. So now I'm just like, all right, I have no interest in this hand. Dealer flattens out 7, 8, 9. North comes out. 1 comes out. I'm just going to throw the West. 4 is thrown, which is a little interesting. I feel like I would have maybe kept the 4 here. The 4-so. But what would I have thrown then? I guess I could have thrown like the 8-so.
No, probably the 3-man.
Yeah, you could flatten out the 3, 3, 4.
And
yeah,
the reason for
4, 6, 8.
I mean, so if you don't throw the 3-man early, the problem is it's Suji on the Dora, right?
Yeah.
So you're going to have to make a decision earlier rather than later with that 3, 3, 4 shape, whether you're going to have a pair of 3s or you're going to make it into a run.
Yeah, which means probably either the 3 or the 4 should be going here. Like what you should be deciding is right now.
If you're gonna fix that as your pair, I'm not. And then you want to push your, the run to the 3, 4 in the bamboo. But as Mahjong says, you can look at that shape as a 4, 6, 8 and a 3, 3. So I think here I'd probably be getting rid of the 3-man. As I said, just kind of I'm a bit kind of don't.
Yeah, I'd be a little worried,
nervous.
But it's not irrational. All right, so now the 3. So now our player across his tempai on just a 7-pin. Pushing out. 9-so just came out, so I'm throwing it. I'm pretty much done.
Reach.
Yeah, it's good.
So we reach 2, 3, 4. Closed weight on the 7-so for reach.
I want to take back what I said. That might be super smart because now the Suji on the 7 bamboo looks more likely to come out.
It looks more likely to come out because
I will say the better the player base, though, generally you don't pay attention to Suji the closer it is to the reach tile, and definitely not if it is the reach tile. So depending on your player base, they may not be tricked by your sneaky.
Yeah, because those things are coming out of things that you're decomposing at the last minute as your hand actually takes shape, which means that 4 could come from a 4, 4, 5, or it could come from a 4, 6, 8 as seen.
I mean, what's nice is it came an instant discard, so that might mean that. So it might be that our friend here,
they don't even want it at all.
Our friend here is just smarter than me and better at Mahjong. I'm not going to say that's not the case.
So the 2.
And this is where, if you don't play efficiently, sometimes you can get people to do the interesting things you need them to do.
Player across throws the 2. This is an aggressive push, in my opinion. It's right next to the reach tile and Suji on the Dora, and they're pushing it.
Two's not Suji on the Dora.
Oh, I'm sorry. It's Suji on the indicator.
Yeah.
No, you're right.
Yeah.
I'm just dumb as heck. Too much dome and Mahjong. Still right next to it. I know. It's an aggressive push, but they don't really have anything else safer right now.
Yeah. I don't know what else they do in that position, to be honest. I think that's all they
Yeah, they
can
back
do.
themselves into the spot where they just have to go.
Yeah.
Interestingly, player across
I was just playing safe. I like it.
gives up Tenpai, play safe. All right, dealer reach. They don't want anything to do with it. Okay.
Yeah.
But now player across now actually can't win because player across is Tenpai on this 7 pin. 3 of them have been called. The 4th one, unbeknownst to them, is locked up in the dealer's hand.
Yeah, but
So they need to find a better weight.
well, we could argue that with 3 7 pins visible, it's not safe, but you could throw the 8 pins. You could call those 3 pins as a group.
And then throw the 8.
I mean, I don't like playing. I wouldn't like playing this way. The only thing I will comment about our friend on the left here, I mean, he's called. Part of me thinks, well, if you've gone that far, you're just going to have to keep going now.
Yeah, that's why throwing the 8 safe, which is a good hard safe for a dealer epots, which is not an irrational decision. But to some degree, it's like you could also just be Tenpai. And
I don't know, yeah.
If this hand was worth nothing has changed about your hand to make it more or less worth fighting for. So like if you thought this was worth calling twice for to begin with, maybe.
Yeah, I probably wouldn't have called those 7 pin in the first place. So I wouldn't be, especially if you had the 2 pins on 9. I probably wouldn't have been in a position to find out. So anyway, as you say, let's use on the top of the mountain.
1 pin comes out. 1 pin comes out. This now another option to get Tenpai by throwing Dora, which I do not blame anyone for saying I'm not throwing Dora into a dealer reach. So then out comes a 9 pin, which does pass. I pick up the 7 so and throw out this 1 pin because it's a safe tile, and I might as well throw a safe tile. Jun comes out, East comes out, 2 comes out, 4 is hard safe, and I get to keep my 5, 6, 7. So I'm still like, I'm wiggling around here, which is a little frustrating, where it's like, my hand is like, I don't want to die, and I'm like, hand, this is not happening.
It's over.
Player across now gets to a 3-8 Tenpai and pushes with the 6. The 9 is out. So the 6 has some mild safety to it, but that's a bit of a risky disky.
Yeah, I mean, well, yeah, you can't see. I mean, we can, but they can't see any 4s. They can't see any 5s.
Yeah, like those tiles are still very live, so the 3-6 weight is very, very possible. The 7's basically dead, and the 8's basically they know where all the 8s are. So the 6-9 is pretty much not happening. Cool, fine.
But they've got themselves into the same position as the player on the left has, in that they've called so much. What are you going to do?
Yeah, what are you going to do? You're not backing down now because you didn't give yourself any room to back down. So now you're just going to go. Player left here grabs up another 7 and throws a safe 9 pin because they don't want to get hit by stuff. I'll throw the 3. It's safe. 9 so comes out. Pots comes out.
Yeah, they said those 1 mana are pretty safe as well. It's nice for you.
And now player left decides, drawing the 2 so to throw the 7.
He's read the Suji. He's read the Suji. So there you go. Dealer, you're smarter than me.
On the 4.
Yeah. So he was right. The Suji trap was laid, and a player stepped into it.
Yeah, I'm just wondering. I would almost consider the 2 so slightly. I don't know. There's 3 4s here.
Yeah. So, well, I mean, so if you're going to read the 1 and the 4, that's your classic Ura Suji, Matagi Suji, your back Suji, and your straddle Suji. That is your classic. So if you've got like a 3-4 in your hand, let's presume that we don't know whether they've been.
Yeah.
Let's wipe out the information about whether you drew and discarded them. Let's just pretend we don't know that, right?
We don't know. Okay.
So if you've got a 3-4-4 position, right, and you've got a 1
to flatten it down to 3-4.
No, stop. If you've got a 3-4-4 and you've got the 1, obviously throw the 1. The 1's useless, right? Mm-hmm. And then you throw the 4. So it's that order which is important to you.
I see. So the 1 is the trimming down into 3-4-4, and then the 4 is the trimming down into 3-4, and maybe that's the weight that would be waiting on the 2-5.
Exactly. It's that sequencing that's important. Now that doesn't work so well here because the 4 was an instant discard, but let's say it was.
Yeah.
But anyway, that's the sequencing there would suggest to you that 2
I might consider the 6. because we have the 9 and the 3 both save. So the 6 is only useful if there's a lot of other 6s, or if it's like the 5-7 waiting close wait on the 6.
I wouldn't want to be in this position. I'm not going to lie.
Yeah, this is just an ugly spot. I mean, it's easy to look at this and be like, oh, throw the 6. But the other thing about the 7 is you do have 2 of them. So if your gamble with the 7 passes, you get another, and you hang out. So, I mean, I was very happy to see the 7, because I'm like, oh, I'm going to throw my 7, but that's the deal.
I mean, I think, honestly, the answer here is to not get yourself into a position where you're calling for a cheap hand. I mean, it was a he had an Eastern Adora. I probably wouldn't call quite so aggressively for it, personally.
And this ends up just being Reach Dora on an Ura flip for 3,940 and 2. So, all right, game starts. Small hit. Dealer takes some points. Game doesn't advance, and we continue. And now, this happens. And I look at this hand, and I'm like, second game of the night. A lot of people doing a lot of really aggressive call play, and I'm a little like fussy about it. I won my Rion Peiko. I'm feeling kind of good, and I look at this hand, and I think Sanshoku Doko.
Yes.
With the 9. Now, I'm gonna be real. This is a bullshit idiot thought. This is dumb a little bit. But I'm just like, surely since I always draw them when I don't need them, I'll draw a stupid 9-man, and then I'll be ready for Sanshoku Doko with the 9. Surely everyone would just throw their 9s because no one cares, right? They're all gonna rush into some Tanyao nonsense. Let's just do it. Let's do it. Sanshoku Doko on the 9. That's my initial push. Oh, it is absolutely a stretch. This is, again, Dave does something dumb that he does not recommend in any way, shape, or form. Well, the other thing that I'm mildly thinking with this is one other overlay, which is 789 Sanshoku. 789 Sanshoku is a big old stretch, but because 7's the Dora, 7-pin is the Dora, I have the 8-9. It's one of those things that I'm just keeping in my head as like, this could come up, and if it does, don't throw it away without thinking.
Yeah.
Is 90% of Chinro? Well, the fact that it's 90% of a Chinro-to is what is going to guide me in this. So, let's see. Does anyone else have a really strong starting hand? Our dealer, 7-8, has a 6-7-8 Sanshoku hand right here. That's what I would be seeing in this 6-7-8 Sanshoku. It's kind of callable if you really want to push. It's got a Dora in it. Okay, that's some raw material. You got your pair. You got your pair, and you have 4 blocks. They're not the greatest blocks, but you get your pair and 4 blocks already right out of the gate. So cool.
Chinroto is the sugoyest Yakuman.
Chinroto is. I would love
is
Chinroto.
It? Honroto is enough, man.
Let's see. South. Oh, we got 6-7, 5-7, 7-9, 4. We got a Dora. Like me. Let's see. I mean, we can see what happens. There's nothing shockingly exciting. West has this nice 7-7-8, 3-3-4-5-5. Okay, West has some good shape. They get that 4 especially. They got Ipeko right there. So right.
They've got 2 Dora. Yeah, I mean.
Yeah, they got 2 Dora. They've got Ipeko, and they've got a Tanyao Ipeko, which means if they really just want to.
That's the hand you call yourself into a horrible corner.
Maybe. Maybe.
If you're gonna call yourself into a horrible corner, that's more like it.
It's with them Dora. All right, so East trims the West. Okay, people are generally trimming their honors. And now I get this Chun, and you know what I'm thinking now. I'm thinking, all right, because I'm in Chantasville, it's time to do the Davist move and just aggressively discard a middle tile. Again, to be very clear, I do not claim that what I'm doing here is smart or good, but I will say throwing a 5 as a first discard is one of my very aggressive, like, it's edge tile Chanta time signals, which I maintain for the purpose of bluffing. But in this case, I'm just doing it. I'm like, forget it. Like, let's just get rid of these dangerous tiles right now. If we're doing this, we're doing this.
You're not a flirt, are you?
No, I'm not asking for your acceptance. Yeah, Chanta Chap activate. Yes.
Chanta Chap.
Yes. So to be fair, everybody in their right mind looking at my discards right now should be saying, Dave's doing something fucky.
Yeah.
I'm throwing a 5 in the Suit of the Dora as my very first discard out of my hand. And it's not sideways. Like, if it's a double reach, okay, that makes sense, right? But, like, something weird is going on over here.
Unfortunately,
And
everyone knows you, though. So they were like,
Yeah,
oh, well,
they don't know.
Chanta again.
It's that guy. He's going to try to make Chanta. What an idiot. So I hold the chun out of this. It's actual Mahjong talk for once. All right, dealer gets their 6. So they've got their 6, 7, 8 moving forward. Good for them. It's happening. A 5. This is a good draw. A good draw for South. They got their 5, 6, 7 together. 2. Not necessarily good yet. They throw the West. Here I get another 8.
I don't like the way he's holding that 8-pin. I'm sorry, I don't like that. Don't like that at all.
Oh, because and now it's for the 5-man. We're doing it. It is Chanta time, and like, ooh, maybe 7, 8, 9 Sanchoku Ipeko. Let's do this. It'll be so cool.
No.
Also, there's a Chitoi.
Chitoi, yeah, Chitoi. I like
better. Think about with 3 pairs. Again, I'm not going to go out and be like the Tenho category on Twitch. I should switch to the Tenho category on Twitch. How do I do that? Can I do that right now? Can I do it? Should I?
Yeah, once we're actually talking on topic, we should be on the right.
Yeah, you're right. Let me find. I don't know how to do this. I'm very stupid.
We need to get a run category on Twitch as well.
Let me open a new browser and bring it over here and see if I can switch the category over. Tenho better pay us. Tenho better.
Well, I only play on run, so.
Oh, Wait, here's my stream manager. Oh my god, don't introduce things to me now. I'm being functional. How can I change the category? Quick actions. No, don't edit stream info.
They're the same picture, EMP.
All right, there. We changed to Tenho. Thank you for letting us know. Now we're officially Tenho.
I'm not gonna comment on these aspersions.
So yeah, this is more patented Dave nonsense of getting rid of everything that's not Chanta or Jun-chan. The 6 is next on my execution list, I'm pretty sure. Okay, dealer draws a 4-so. I hate inside weights, but 2, 4, 6, 8 are not so bad. They give them an East because someone's thrown East already. Pretty rational things going on. 7 beats Hots. Hots gets thrown. And here's an East for me. And this is where I'm just like, all right.
You went crazy, didn't you?
A little bit. I'm just like, you know what?
Why did you keep the 6 bamboo if you're going crazy?
Why did I keep the 6 bamboo? Maybe I was imagining 6, 7, 8 would happen. If it was Sanchoku Doko, maybe it'll happen. I'm like, this 3 is on its own.
Maybe you just liked imagining people's faces as you like threw inside tiles out.
A little bit. Because I think my vision now is something Chanta-E, Sanchoku Doko, maybe. And maybe I need these honors because I can snag them to finish out something all terminally. Or maybe let's go around one more time. So the 8-pin is held over the 1, which I'm a little bit. I probably wouldn't.
No, the one bamboo is completely useless. That is the correct cut. Yeah.
Interesting. I would have wanted to keep it because if I get that 3, I now have 1, 2, 3, and then I still have the 4, 6, 8. But I would have felt like I was pretty much guaranteed to want 1, 6, and 1, 8 for my 6, 7, 8. But I guess
I think it's quite basic though. Like so you got to think of your loss, right? So he drew the 8-pin, right? Now if you throw that straight out, you lose the ability to use another 8-pin, right? So to draw into that shape, you can draw an 8-pin or a 7-pin here, right?
Yes. Yeah.
The only thing you really lose from throwing from a 1, 2, 4 shape, which is what that basically is if you draw another 1, you don't want that either.
Yeah.
So
the other thing that I'm thinking is also in terms of manifesting. Like if I'm manifesting a 6, 7, 8 Sanshoku, I have to imagine that 2, 4, 6, 8 is going to become 2, 3, 4, 6, 7, 8.
I feel like I've broken you all now. Like I'm well on board with manifesting Sanshoku.
Well, I'm saying if that's what I'm looking at where I want my hand to be, keeping the option for 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 8 doesn't actually help me. Getting rid of that 1.
If you really want to manifest Sanshoku, you throw the 7-man.
Ooh. Keep both options on that side and just flatten it out. Yeah, but that's a little, in my mind, that's a harsher play because now you're cutting out a pin option.
I wouldn't play like that at all. I would not play like that at all. I mean,
I would never do this. All right, so the one's
I
out.
think the one bamboo is right. I think our player here is making the right call here. That's and he's got an awkward hand here. He should just play basic, like nothing fancy.
Player across throws the chin they get. Player left throws out, gets a 4-pin in and throws out the 1, so they're pushing closer to Tanyao. Those doors
really, no offense,
there.
player. If you're watching this, you should throw that 8-pin out. That 8-pin is nasty because it becomes slowly more dangerous the longer you hold it. It is adjacent to the Dora, and you have 2 Dora locked in, so you already know what you're doing with those Dora. Just throw it out. That's your pair, or if you're even lucky, you're going to get another one. Just throw that 8 out. If you get a 9, what are you going to do? You're going to throw a Dora? No, you're not. Just throw the 8 now, so you don't have to answer that question in the future.
Yeah.
And you don't have to throw a dangerous tile in the future. Take the 8. Just get out.
Yeah, I agree. I think at an early point you're basically going to say like I'm getting all the value I can out of this hand. I'm not going to be getting rid of one of these Dora, so I don't need this 8. There's really nothing that can happen. I guess drawing another 8 might change my mind on that, because then if I have 7, 7, 8, I can get into that Pinfui Ipekoi cool shape. But like at this point, when I have so much else going on in the hand, I can really, if I want to, just call this out into Tanyao Dora 2, which is still actually worth even making. Yeah, the 8's gone.
And you don't really want to be building a weight near a Dora if you can help it. You're laughing because you've got a pair of Dora locked in. No one's going to throw happily an 8-pin out to you. Hopefully later on in the game, they might do now, but you're not going to get there fast enough.
And the neat thing about the pair of Dora, in my mind at least, is that it's entirely independent of the shapes you build in the rest of your hand. Like, it's no longer, well, I have one Dora, so I have to build around it, so I might end up waiting around it. When I wait around it, it sucks, because everyone is going to avoid dealing around the Dora. I have this, like, hidden little pair here that's incredibly valuable, and I can build whatever else I want. And maybe I'll win that whatever else I want, and then be like, oh, also, 2 Dora, and you're like, oh, crap.
And you could even call it. If someone threw a Dora, you could call it.
You could call it.
You would,
and
you would have Mangan.
And now everyone's scared. A visible Mangan makes everyone scared, and they're all going to be like, well, I got to avoid this. And now you're slowing them down.
I'd love an 8,000 points. That'd be nice.
So the 1 gets thrown, though. I think the 1 throw is a fine throw. Just cut out that edge tile. Keep your option open. And I get a 1. Now I feel a little silly for the 3. But this is where the 6 comes out. This is about where I say to myself, I think at the 3 discard is where I said to myself, Dave, like, you're messing around here. Like, what are you really doing? You're just sitting here, like, again, manifesting. You're trying to manifest something that's probably not going to happen, and you're just kind of messing around, so you should probably focus on either building a hand that's actually going to happen, or accepting the fact that you've kind of messed around with this hand and basically kind of are not going to win it, and prepare yourself to just not win it in a safe way so that you don't lose any points. Because, like, really, the Sanchoku Doku, first of all, no one's thrown any of these edge tiles in the beginning. Like, they're not coming out easily like you thought. It's just not happening, and you're being a little silly. Exactly, Mahjong Index. At the point at which I draw this 1, I think to myself, so I've got to either go for a hand that's worth winning or fold. And I'm like, but why not both? Because that's what going for Kokushi means. It means hoovering up all the tiles that no one's going to want, and then at some point folding and throwing them all one by one as everyone looks at your discards and goes, oh, you were going for Kokushi, you nerd, and not losing. So why not both? I
just want you to tell people on the record that I did not teach you how to strategize in Mahjong.
Did not teach me any of this. I learned this all from watching myself, but this is where I hold the 1 because I'm like, you know what? Fine. Why not maybe Kokushi? I've hit 8 tiles right here. It's the 4th discard. That's like the first discard, right? Like, forget it. Let's just do this. And my real thinking is it's going to be a hand where I hoover up a lot of safe tiles and then fold. That's kind of what I'm imagining. Is like, it's a worthwhile attempt. I'm not getting what I want. I'm probably not going to call out the Sanchoku Doku. If I drew another 9-man, I might reconsider that. But as of now, even if these 9s come out, I'm not going to call them. Because I just don't think it's worth putting myself in a vulnerable position.
I'm glad you said at least that.
Yeah. What else am I going to... Yeah, what else do you do? Like, yeah, exactly. Why not dream? Dream a little bit. Keep the option open. Don't throw it away. But, like, yeah, I've pretty much folded this hand in my mind right now, is what I've done. I've been like, you've kind of mucked around for no reason here. This was a little silly of you. I'm kind of folding this hand. Or I'm going to... Point of the dream. So the 6 comes out. No one wants it. Dealer gets a 6. Now dealer flattens...
throwaway points. No dreams.
The 6, 7, 8 throwaway points.
Oh my god, Biono! You need to put that on a t-shirt!
That is
I
a
will
good
buy your
t-shirt.
t-shirt. That is a t-shirt slogan right there. I will buy your t-shirt. That is amazing. I might take a photo of that comment. I can't forget that one.
No, it points not. So
I'm
here,
taking
dealer
it ready
flattens
to
out their
comment.
6, 7, 7, 8 into 6, 7, 8 because they drew another 6, which is actually kind of a nice shape for them. Now they do have 2, 4, 6, and
You
6,
have
8.
this exact hand on it. Yes,
Oh,
please.
please do. Yeah, put this exact hand. I will make the shirt.
Dave, I
if
think
want.
you should make the
I can
t-shirt.
make the shirt.
Make the shirt for us, please.
So at this point, it seems, but at this point, still, if I was dealer, I might consider throwing away this 8 pin and just saying this is a 6, 7, 8, and I'm done with it. But I'm flattening this out. I feel like they're really solidifying on the 6, 7, 8 Sanshoku concept here. That's what they're building. That's where they're going. And they're getting tiles now. Across gets a 3, throws a Haku, another 3, 4 shape. Player left doesn't want.
Mahjong meme shirts are a gap in the market. I believe. I agree.
And here's
Mahjong meme
Hots for
tattoos are
Dave.
even bigger. Oh my god.
At the point at which Hots comes to Dave, I'm like, all right, well, 2 pins, see you later, bye. Like, this is now.
No, stop. If you were going to do that though, you throw the 9 pin first.
No, I want the 9 pin because it's a safer tile to hold on to.
No, it's not.
I guess with 7 as a door, it's kind of dumb.
Exactly. So if you're going to do something dumb, at least throw the 9 pin first.
Well, I never have to throw the 9 pin though.
I don't know.
I already have 2 of them, it's fine.
I know, but you don't want to get yourself into a situation where you are 10-pie on Kokushi and you have to throw a 9 pin, or you have to throw something else dangerous. Like, back to the don't.
But I don't have to throw it.
But you might do if you got 10-pie for this, right? And the 9 bamboo was actually dangerous. You can see it was dangerous. And then the 9 pin might be dangerous, and you throw the 9 pin. Put yourself in a situation where you never have to be like that, okay?
All right. I'll note that. Next time I'm noodling around like an idiot, building again. At this point, to be fair, in my mind, I am thrilled that I keep drawing all of these long-term safe tiles. The Haku, the Hots, the Chun. Great, so safe. Later in the hand, and I'm thinking to myself, later in the hand, when everyone's pushing real hard to make something, I can just chill out here and keep my bearings because I'm getting all the good tiles that are pretty hard safe in a late game. Dealer doesn't want a Chun, so now Chun's even happier about Chun. Player across gets 2 for the 2, 3. He's gonna have 2, 3, 5, 6, 7, 7, 9, 5. Like their hands coming together with shapes. Get rid of this 2 pin. Player left gets a 4-man, and now they drop the 8. So now they say, okay, these 7s are definitely the pair, and they are actually Ishan-ten on Chitoi. Chitoi Tanyao Dora Dora. Hi, Rulor. My Discord screams.
Hi, Rulor. Right. Okay, so you've got yourself into that position now. You've held the 8 pin for a little bit too long. If you're going to push yourself towards a Chitoi, 2 pin for the 2 pin now.
There's 2 out on the table. You probably want it. Well, to be a little fair and give them the devil's advocate here, they do still have the ability to just call this for Tanyao.
I know, but now it's...
And it could be 2, 3, 4 Sanshoku.
The problem is you're calling for triples, and with a triple, there's only 2 left of that.
No, you could chi the 2, 3, 4.
You could I don't know. I think this is a difficult hand to call.
The 2, 3, 4 and going that way. I don't know. I'm just saying they do leave open some calling options by holding the 2 that they would have been throwing away. But I think getting rid of the 8 is definitely, we are not doing this 7, 8, 9.
I think I've been distracted. I think the 8 pin should have gone a lot sooner. And I just don't like that 8 pin.
Right. Don't like it. Here's an 8-man, and I'm just like, I don't care. Goodbye, 8-man. Dealer gets another 7-man.
Right. I think at this point, and I think I'm gonna give some unsolicited advice. I think when you get to the end of this first stage, so let's say Mahjong can be, it's in 3 stages, right? The first line of discards, second line, third line discards. I think when you get to the end of this first line discards, you have to have a long conversation. Well, not a long conversation. You have to do it in minutes, in your seconds, in your head even. You have to have a look. Is anyone ready or nearly ready? And I think at that point, that's where if you don't have anything obvious, and Dave does not have anything obvious, no matter what he's manifesting.
I have a very obvious bad attitude. Like,
okay, I can agree with that. I think you have to look. Is anyone actually going places? And then you have to have a review of the speed and the value of your hand. It's always very good to look at do I have speed? Do I have value? But you have to review that. And then that at the end of the first stage is where you can really start making assessments about whether you can fight someone else's hand. I really don't. I mean, Honestly, if I was to look at David's pool of discards, I'd be like, oh no, I do not want to even see what that nonsense man is doing over there.
I gotta be honest,
impossible.
making you say, no, is like half of why I play. To be fair, the other half of the time, I'm the one saying, like, oh no, I don't want anything to do with this.
Yeah, I would, and so I would hope the other players here are looking over there going like, I should definitely, this is where you definitely want to make sure you've got an exit strategy for the nonsense that Dave is building.
For the nonsense I might be about to unleash. All right, so dealer keeps their 6, 7, 8, 6, and 8, throws a 7. Player across gets a 6 and throws a 9, turns 7, 9 into 6, 7, good upgrade. Player left gets a 9 and does not want it. And I draw the north. This is where I start to say, oh no.
Do you drop the 9 pin here though, right? Yes, you do, don't you? Yes.
No, I drop the 8s.
Oh, but dropping the 9 pin is the obvious, right? Because people in me are like, oh, what's he doing over there? Now a 9 pin has come out.
Yeah, I think I'm still like, I want to maximize my hanging out edge tiles here. But at this is the point when I get the north that I start thinking to myself, like, oh no. Like, this could actually happen. Like, I might actually even get there, which is nuts.
I don't like you, Dave. I don't think I say that enough.
Dealer doesn't want the one that they already didn't want. 8S just says that I'm still a bit away.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. I'd throw the 9 pin out. I'd be like, dudes, do you want to fight my Kokushi? Let's fight. Let's fight it now. That's what I want to say to this table, because they're not reacting to your nonsense. Person opposite, you've just thrown a red dragon. I would make them go, right, do you want to throw into my Kokushi? I am ready to take your tiles.
Yeah, I am very tempai on this Kokushi. Here I draw the 1, so at this point the other 8 says, now I'm done. So now I'm Ishan 10 on the Kokushi right here.
I don't like you, Dave. I don't like you.
I think I never throw the pin. I think that's what happened. Dealer gets a 4 and chucks the 2. Now they have 4, 4, 6, 6, 8. They're actually creeping towards Chitoy as well in their own way.
But I'll say again, and I think I said this last week, if you throw a pair out like that from your hand, everyone should be going, just shitting themselves, basically. Like, look at Dave's discard pool. And not only is it just sheer insanity the whole way through, he then throws a pair from his hand. Honestly, I just want to see people folding. I don't want to see anything else but folding. It's not worth it. It is obviously big. It is obviously powerful.
Not rational going on in my hand. It's true. If you look at this, it is obvious something real fucking weird is going on over here, where I rip out all these middle tiles, and then I throw this little 8-man where I'm like, I don't give a crap, and then I'm like, no, another pair has to go. Yeah, there's a lot going on.
No, you should just fold. If you are sitting opposite someone who's done this, just fold. Even if you think they're a bullshit artist, I just wouldn't even want to see this.
Player left gets their Anko of 2-man, and they throw the 2-pin, which, whether or not they're thinking about it, is safe on me. So that's
you should throw the 4-pin because it's Suji on the Dora. If you're going to throw it sooner than the 2-pin.
That's true. Player left now Ishan 10 actually on Tanyo Ipeko Dora Dora, which is a pretty good solid hand. So we can see what happens there. And here I grab the south because that's just what happens. At which point I throw the 9 so. Because I'm never throwing the 9 pins if I can help it. I knew I wasn't dumb.
This is dumb, David. This doesn't make you not dumb. You are dumb. Like everyone else here. I think you're dumb.
Everyone else here is doing pretty rational stuff, to be honest, with their hand.
Yes, they are. I'm sorry. Player on the left, if you are watching, you're a great player. I just, I'm very particular about Dora and how Dora is like, like, so say it's like a clear pool of water, right? Any Dora is like, it's like a stone thrown into that clear, and it creates ripples, right? And those ripples should, they should change how you play around them.
Yeah.
In my opinion. And obviously, I'm not the best player, so you could also just totally ignore me.
You are actually. I'm sorry. There was a study done. You are now literally the best player at Happen.
Oh, I don't know, Dave. Having watched this, you may be the best player because once we finish this, I want to know how far away we were from a Kokushi when you threw that 5-pin. I just need to know for my own sanity.
We can go back. So I throw the 9. It's true. It's true that people, at this point, after all this nonsense, and I finally throw the first terminal out of my hand.
I hope people, I hope people are like, oh
Because
my
I'm thinking,
God.
like, what would you have to think? I've touched all 3 suits, so it's not like a weird Chinitsu situation where I'm just hucking one suit aggressively. I've thrown no honors, no terminals at all. Like something real weird is going on over here that's either incredibly dumb and it's like Chanta one han haha, or it's incredibly big. So now I'm Tenpai. 3-pin the dealer does not want because it doesn't really fit into what they're doing. Player across throws the Dora. I'm not sure I like that. They keep the Tuso to throw the Dora. I'm slightly confused about the value here. Yeah, the 9 bamboo might be a good thing. I just threw it so it's safe on me.
And then and then you could have a
speed forward if they want to.
You could have a Tanyao, keep your Dora. You've got a potential Sand Shock with I67 that
Well, I was imagining I'd probably call it and do something dumb. Closed Chanta. No one wins closed Chanta. But they throw the Dora. Player left, I think, grabs it and gets Tenpai.
Yes, player left. So now player left. I'm wrong. You're right. That's exactly. You're cooler than I am.
Yeah, you've gone from not ready to ready on Tanyao Dora 3. You dropped your Ipeko, but the Ipeko is going to be +/-1 anyway, so there you go.
I just personally, my own personal fit is you can throw those dangerous tiles out a bit quicker, and it will. This time it didn't matter, but in another hand, it might be that you don't get yourself into a later position where you're having to ask some really tough questions of yourself and putting yourself into a situation where you're uncomfortably throwing tiles.
I think it's really important for people to realize that is another dimension. It's something I'm not the greatest at either, to be super clear. I'm not claiming like I'm amazing at this, but like there are 2 dimensions to your hand, right? Because one dimension is making your hand, taking the tiles you get and forming it into something good and of value. And many people are perfectly good at that. But then what's being discussed here is the order of your discards. Like you could get your hand into the same shape most of the time with a very different order of discards. So it's not just when, how you get your hand to the destination. It's also that path and optimizations of that path of getting rid of more dangerous tiles earlier, of pruning what you discard and when, will remove situations from your game experience where you were on your way to a good hand, but someone roamed off of you. Like think of all the times you were on your way to a good hand, but then you got sniped. Some of those will be unavoidable. That's life. But some of those you might have been able to avoid by discarding a little differently, and then you'll make more of the big hands that you're already perfectly good at building. So like don't forget that is actually an important skill. Again, I am not the most amazing at it. Look at my discards. Like,
I mean, obviously,
I discard all the most dangerous
Dave
tiles,
is the biggest idiot on this table right now.
So they throw the 4-pin. Now they have a Pong of Dora. I'm a little bit happy and a little bit nervous.
And even more exciting, like they can call the 4, 3, or 5, and then they've got Tanyao, Toy, Dora 3.
Yeah.
Boom.
This is a big old beefy hand for them.
Game. I like that. Yeah.
And this is always the saddest I am. You'd think that when you're Tenpai on a Yakuman, you should be happy or excited, but I'm always sad because what do I do here? The answer is obvious. I hold Tenpai on this Yakuman and deal whatever I've drawn. I don't have really any options anymore. You play it. You got it. You play it.
You weren't so this time you weren't tempted to reach.
No. This time, reaching is not going to help me at all. It's dumb as heck. I'm just waiting for one stupid tile. Like
I would have reached, and I'll tell you why I would have reached. I might have stopped my friend on the left from pawning that 7-pin and getting into Tenpai.
To be frank,
I don't think anyone's throwing this rest into you.
I believe
you're
you
would
do it.
Draw this west. I think you're gonna have to draw this west. So this is my thinking. When you threw that 9 I'd be like, okay, I'm gonna have to draw the west. No one's gonna throw a west into this nonsense bullshit crap I've thrown out. So I may as well let them all know that I'm ready. So they want to think twice about moving their own hand forward. So I just reach on the 9 and be like, come on then, let's see what the wall gives me.
Let's see what's up. See, I
that might not be good Mahjong. That might not be good Mahjong, but that's my head game, if you see what I mean, and it will match in my head.
I mean. The thing that I felt about this was, you know what I felt? I'll tell you exactly what I felt. I felt like it was a waste of effort in that I put so much time and effort into building this giant assortment of safe tiles that I'm not going to lose my opportunity to use them as safe tiles if things get real crazy.
Really?
for no extra points, for nothing.
And there are two
and again,
Wests.
this is a challenge, and I don't mean to sound pejorative, but I would be reaching on the chance, the off chance that someone would bother defending.
I don't know, man. I'd reach, and I mean, there's two Wests in the war. I think it was a good chance. Thanks, Rogue. Thank you.
Play. Either way, I throw the 6 because I'm like, I can't do it.
Feels like I'm stuck in a taxi with a crazy driver. I can't get out, and I don't know if it's going to crash. Oh, it's going to crash.
So I throw the 6 because I'm just like, all right, whatever. Like I'm here. I'm here for it. It's happening. Maybe I should have reached at this point if I'm.
It's more that I just don't want my friend on the left here to have caught that door because that's Mangana now.
Yeah,
now he's Tenpai. I would have wanted to stop him from getting to Tenpai.
Based on my experiences within this player group, I don't think it would have stopped anyone.
Oh, okay. I would reach for the Uradora, just to cry that the Uradora.
To get more.
This is when you magically get the. You never hit right when it's just like, oh, I need to hit a door on this crappy little Richinomi. You never get it right, but you will do if you've got a Yakuman. That's the way Yakuman work.
Koshi has about as good a chance as a good Pinfu hand of hitting her, actually, because it's 13 different tiles. You got pretty good.
If you say honorable friend, it sounds like watching the House of Commons.
I throw the 6. Dealer gets the 3 and throws the 3. Again, like at this point, the vibe I'm getting is no one is slowing down here.
Right, no, that 3's a good throw. That 3's a good throw on you.
On me, yeah. Not on the big Dora bomb that's been exposed over here.
Yeah, okay. Fair enough.
Frankly, the 6 pin is actually a fine throw. I just threw it. It's the safest tile. That's my favorite thing to say about Mahjong. It's the absolute safest tile in the universe.
Yeah, and they could move into sort of more defensive position whilst going towards a Cheetoy.
Yeah. So the 6 maybe would have been a good throw.
Yeah.
Player cross gets a 4-man and just throws out a 5 pin, which is fine on me, but I'd be a little worried about.
I think that's
like what was left in their hand after that Pong of 7 pin would be what I would be worried about.
Right, but there's a 2-8 there.
Yeah. Still a little bit of a push just to keep a 4. But the 4 is not safe either, so they can see through 3s. Anyway, they throw the 5 pin. Player left does not want to deal with changing their weight, so they throw the 7. So I get a 5-man, and for a penny and for a pound, 5-man. See you later. Bye.
You're playing like you're not going to fold.
I'm not going to fold. Yeah, which is why maybe I should reach, but like now dealer draws and then immediately throws the West because it doesn't fit in their hand.
They are dealer though, which is painful for them.
This is really rough because also if you look at the table, you can see 3 hots and 3 chun. You can see
2 Wests.
2 1-mans. You can see 2 other Wests. Like, the stats on this are rough. That's a double 1 chance with the hots and the chun that I would have both of them in my hand. The West has come out before. You got a Dora bomb sitting across from you. I still think the 6 pin is probably a better play, just because the 6 pin I threw already and the player left hasn't changed their hand. So, like, 6 pin would be fine.
Can we go back to the very beginning once we finish talking about how brilliant you are, just so I can
not
see
brilliant.
How
it's this
dumb
again.
this
I
was.
fully accept the responsibility of having done a lot of dumb stuff here.
I bet you people are reviewing this. All these 3 players who reviewed this game, and they have cursed your name.
3 of the 1 pins. So that's 3 tiles in this Kokushi that they can see 3 of in front of them. It is like that is rough. That is rough. I didn't fold after the Dora pawn, so you gotta.
Yeah, there's 3 1-man as well. Yeah.
Yeah, 3 1-man. Like the odds are like irrational at this point. So many of those tiles have been used up. It's rough. So going back to the beginning, I believe this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 uniques and 6 of the tiles I'd need.
Wait a minute, 1, 2, 3, 4. You're 7 away now.
1, 2, 3, 4, I'm 7 away.
Yeah, 7 away from Kokshi.
Yeah.
Dave, jeez. This is where those T-shirts that say, you know, I'm stupid would work well.
I was Tenpai on Kochi, 5, 6, 7.
All right, and maybe did people
8,
during after Dave started this
9.
hand? Yeah.
Who cuts 5? I cut 5p here. I don't need it. It's got to go.
You got yeah.
So it's 7 away. Tenpai
Not on the
discard
ninth turn.
9. So 7 of my 9 draws were effective towards Kokshi.
No, sure. I mean, honestly, you've probably done your mental health a lot of good.
You don't want to look at things like this. This is
like the horror story, right? This is like now every time I play Mahjong, I'm going to be looking at people going like, "Are you playing something dumb like Dave did?"
Yeah, like, are you ready?
I'd see into therapy.
Again, like looking at that West throw, like, it's true that if you wanted to be a conservative player, you could have looked at my pool and been like, he's probably ready on something like Kokshi. But at the same time, that's like 3 or 4 one-shots. It's 4 tiles that are one-shot weights on like the 12th discard.
I think it's tough if you're the dealer as well. Like, there's definitely a lot more pressure to keep your dealership. So I really feel for whatever we're going to call that player.
Again, I don't think it was really a particularly bad play on their part at all. It just happened. And again, I always tell people, like, if you take the 4 best players in Mahjong and you sit them at a Mahjong table and make them play each other, they will deal into each other's Mongons, they will deal into each other's Baimons, they will deal into each other's Yakuman. Like, someone will deal in. It'll happen. It doesn't make you bad.
No.
Like, it doesn't really fundamentally make you bad. Like, you can make bad decisions, but it doesn't fundamentally make you bad. So yeah, so that all happened. And I got a big pile of points. And now you enter an interesting situation.
And this is the situation which I think you played the worst at. I think you play tall stack worse than you do small stack.
I actually agree. Okay. I'm not very good at tall stack.
Yes,
I'm not very good at tall stack.
You either, like, you weirdly seem to be like, but what, maybe this is American, you're like, but what if my stack was taller? Like, Dave, just calm down.
Well, that's interesting because that's exactly what I do here, which I usually don't. I feel like I usually start being like, well, I don't have to play anymore. I'm out.
That's what I'd like you to do. That's what. But what I
find is that people don't respect it. Like, they don't.
When I've witnessed you play, and maybe it's just because, you know, it's like looking at black matter, right? It starts misbehaving because we're every time when I observe it, you seem to be like, let's just get more points, Gemma, like more. You remind me when you were on that slot machine in Vegas and they just kept paying out, and you were just like laughing maniacally
forever.
So like, David just on the 2017 event, he's really exhausted. Like, you know, so much has gone down at this point, and he put some money in this slot machine because we're just kind of hanging out, like, just chatting.
It was my first spin on the slot machine.
Yeah, we were just like, I was just enjoying having people bring me drinks, and then Dave was like, okay, I'll just play, and then it did that thing where it just starts playing itself and just being like, you're winning.
You won 100 free spins, and it's like doodle doodle. It's just got this big money counter that keeps going up.
And he just sat there at this like slot machine, just laughing maniacally.
It was the only good thing that happened.
That's a good question. Can you Toby an Armel? No. Okay.
You cannot, which makes me uncomfortable. I got to be super honest.
Oh, bye, Reki.
It's frustrating because Reki, have a good time in treasure hunts. It's a little frustrating to me because when I watch the game replays, especially in the lower leagues, you'll see games where it's very obvious that someone lost their points, got frustrated or desperate, and then just started handing out more and more and more and more and more points to people.
That's me. He's describing me. I can see myself in this picture, and I do not like it.
But the challenge on the other side with Toby is you end up in situations where, like, for example, right here and right now in this game, I want to target the player with almost no points to, like, bump them out and end the game right now. I want to be done, right, as soon as I can. Which is really not a fun way to play either. I don't really like... I mean, it's okay to be like, well, that person's in first right now, so if I can, I want to take more from them. But it feels a little bad to be like, that person's doing poorly, so I want to target them. And, like, targeting people in general I don't really love doing. I don't know. It doesn't feel nice.
So,
Maybe I'm just softy.
Chirals are calling Daisuke, saying when you're in the lead, just play EV and you can ignore the rank, to be honest. I think it depends on the situation. Like, haven't really spent enough time maybe looking at how Armor plays. I don't know. I feel like it feels worse to lose your first place when you've won a Yakuman, and I do it all the time. Don't know.
So what the heck?
And I think if you've won a Yakuman, everyone else's kind of Mahjong skills are sharpened. Like, it's a very risky time for the person who's won the Yakuman, because everyone else, they're suddenly, like, maybe after a few kind of like simple Tanya or Ichis, you know, suddenly someone wins a Yakuman, everyone sort of wakes up and the game becomes a lot harder, a lot more challenging.
Well, second place becomes more incredibly, like right now with these points, second place is incredibly vital. Because you're going to think, at least at this point, again, with these numbers, not only personally, it's like, I'm not catching first now. So, like, second needs to happen for me, otherwise I'm definitely negative. It's possible.
Yeah, I mean,
I don't know.
It's not just second, right? They need to be over 30,000.
They need to be over 30,000 with the way Armor works. So there's a lot of things that need to happen here, which is a little rough. This hand dealer is really set up for success. We got 2-3-4. We got 8-8. We got South. We got Hots. Like, it might not be a big hand. We got a door in there though, so it might not be a big hand, but it's definitely a hand that, like, they're ready to rock.
Oh yeah, I'd be made for this hand. This is the kind of hand.
Player left has some good shapes.
Yeah.
We got 5-7-9. We got 2-3-4. We got 4-5. We got 7. We got some up. I have this 1-2-3, and otherwise kind of not that much exciting going on. Not that I'm feeling that ungrateful.
Oh yeah, you're like complaining. Oh.
This is not, well, again, my mentality now is I need to finish this game out without losing these points, but this hand doesn't give me a strong speed or power. I have one Haku, but whatever. Like, I don't feel like anything exciting. And player right also has some Hotses. Not so much else going on right now, but they have some Hotses. So the dealer can get rid of their 1 pin. We're gonna see an easy
I mean,
out.
it does. This kind of activity creates some really interesting dynamic, you know.
See, this changes my whole mood.
You're such
getting the second
jerk.
Dora Dragon. I'm like, okay, this is cool because now I have some chance of doing something. So I'll throw this one man and just chill out. Throws west. Throws the 3 to keep. Maybe looking at 7, 8, 9. Looking, maybe even you can do something Chanta-y with this hand actually. Although they probably wanted to keep the 1 if you were thinking Chanta-y, but like.
I don't think you need to do Chanta there. I'd probably be thinking, Green Dragon, maybe a half flush. Hi.
7, 8, 9 fill for player left. That's nice. So they throw the 7 and kind of lock in the 9 so as their pair. So they have 7, 8, 9, 3, 5, 2, 3, 4, 4, 5. Ishan 10.
Yeah.
All right. Player left is getting ready to rock. I get this 8, so I'm like, all right, 6, 8. Again, I'm kind of now thinking, like, if I call this Haku and go, let's see what I can put together. Player right fills in the 3, 4, 5 and throws the 1. Dealer, this is interesting because I don't think I agree. I think this is a moment, if I'm the dealer here withdrawing this 5-man, that I say to myself, okay, there's some flush potential here. Let's throw maybe the 9-so. And, like, see if we can massage this into a man flush with the Hots.
I'd probably throw the North and postpone that decision.
That's also a fun one, because the North doesn't help me anyway. So, like, what do I need it?
I see where I wouldn't want to, if I got the 7 bamboo, I'd be really sad, or the 8 bamboo. I just don't want to put myself into a sad situation.
Right.
So I think North is probably the least potential for sadness and sorrow.
One's come out already, so it's unlikely.
I know.
They don't want to deal with it.
For so long.
I know, Donnie. It's good to see you. It's been way too long. We should catch up at some point, because
Dave still can't play Mahjong.
I still can't play Mahjong. Ooh, this is interesting. Okay, so player left over here decides that they would rather keep 4, 4, 5, 5. So this now gets them into a pretty much our highly likely Pinfu potential Ipeko shape.
This is a really good play here. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Things like a Yakuman happening on the table, suddenly people really sharpen up their game, and I think that's what we're seeing here.
This is a good hand massage here. I get a second 6. I'm like, cool, I'll throw an isolated 9 pin. Again, this is just like, what can I cobble together? 1 isn't needed. The 8 isn't needed.
Whether this is Mahjong is yet to be decided.
This is another, I think this is a good deal They cut the 5. The 5's come out recently enough that it's safe, but now they have 2, 3, 4, 6, which could be extended into 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 with a 3-sided weight. So this is all looking pretty reasonable to me. Get another 9 pins not happening to Dave. 7 is thrown, which I might have wanted to keep for the 5, 7, 9 shape, and maybe thrown something like the 9 man, which is not really doing much in there.
Yeah, I feel for this guy though, or gal.
They might just be in a bad way. Yeah, they just dealt in. They're probably not feeling so awesome, so they might be focused on something they want to get done. Third 8. All right, so now we have our third.
What's
8,
the 2-man doing? That's what Mahjong Index wants to know about that 2-man. He might be in a position where he wants to really just kind of defend. But yeah, and there you go. That's why I'd have thrown the north. It's why I'd have thrown the north there. And I think be in a stronger position having thrown the north, because you'd have that 2, 3, 4, 5, which means
now
you can
reform
call
your pair
it easier.
on the 2 or the 5.
Yeah.
Player left gets their 2. So now they drop the 6, and I think I'm wondering if their logic here isn't maybe I can shift my pair over to the 2 and throw these 9s later. So they give up the 3-sided weight potential. They're still Ishan 10. They're still like massaging this Ishan 10, but I think their potential thought is maybe in the long run I can shift this over to be Tanyao as well. Makes a little bit of sense. I don't know. I might have wanted to keep the option of grabbing the 5 over the potential pair shift, but I think that's a style question.
Yeah, it's not red. It's not red 5s, so.
Yeah, so holding a 5 isn't that desperate. Also, that's true. If they, to be fair, they still accept the 5. If they get the 5, they throw the 9 so, and they've moved closer to Tanyao. So they haven't lost the ability to accept the 5. So the shifting the pair I could only see is if they wanted to shift over to Tanyao. They want to get rid of the 9 so's, go for Tanyao, get a 6-man, and then they're there. It's a long shot.
They could also be thinking, well, I could defend whilst taking a Chitoi position.
Oh, that's also true. Yeah, they do have 4 pairs for Chitoi. Also, now they do have a better option to get rid of that 9 so, which is hard safe on the dealer. So maybe they're thinking to themselves, if the dealer reaches or something crazy happens, I now have 2 hard safes on the dealer, and I don't even have to obliterate my hand to use them. So maybe they're thinking that. There's a few different reasons you might do this. I don't think it's insane. I get another 9. Oh, I can.
No, don't worry. Dave is doing all of the insane stuff. So
my fast hand.
Dave knows what insane looks like.
So here we get the 1, and we throw the 9. So, which this again leads me to believe there's maybe thoughts of some kind of flush going on here. I'm not sure what the plan is in this situation.
They've got Yakuman trauma.
Dealer throws a 7. This player gets a 5-man that they just don't want. I draw a 9-man, which I know I can't use. Player gets a 4, and now they throw the 5. So this looks like they're basically saying it's going to be a flush. And they're just kind of pushing the so suit entirely out of their hand, and then they're probably going to push the man suit entirely out of their hand and push for this flush. 1 so is not kept by the dealer. 7-pin isn't kept over here, and I'm noticing this player's just throwing whatever they got, so I'm like, ugh. I don't have much time. People are making things happen here. I'm throwing east because it seems safe, and it doesn't seem like the dealer's going to want it. Chun is just thrown. The dealer doesn't want an 8-pin either. The dealer still might have wanted to hedge with that north. He could have held the 7, hedged with the north, so you'd have a 7-8. Hey there, Upconners. I feel like they've lost their opportunity to hedge with that north, which they really could have pulled a little more structure into their hand if they did. 4-man goes away. The other, and I'm sitting here being like, wow, dude, you sure are like throwing away every set that could be in your hand that was useful. I probably should have thrown that west far earlier, but at this point,
you're not looking at his discard pool and thinking Kokshi, because if it was Dave, I'd be like, I know he's in Kokshi again.
No. Player left, I don't think so, because they threw the east first thing.
Yeah.
I can't see them starting that way.
They had 3 of them.
That's probably. I don't know. I'm not getting that vibe. But like, and also the east is hard safe on them anyway, so it doesn't matter if I throw it.
Oh no, of course you got to throw the east.
Yeah, but the west, like if I'd thrown the west and held on to the 9-pin, maybe I'd be in a slightly better state. Either way, I kind of goofed this one up.
No, the west is your win, so it was correct to keep it.
Wait, what was correct to keep? Oh, the west. Oh yeah, the west is my win. That's why I was like, west has value for me.
Well done, young Dave. You were playing better than old Dave.
Boom.
And I call the 6. Because I don't like that nothing's happening. is pretty much where I'm at right now. I'm like, nothing is going on, and if no one pushes... And here's the thing.
Wait, no, I'm sorry.
Me.
Do you not feel like the player on your left, something's going on, and you're like, I know, I'll call into this with no Yaku?
Yeah, because I know where 2 of the Dora are. So what do they really have? What are they really going to have?
But you don't need to do this.
I don't, but, well, yes and no. And here's where, again, this is all very different depending on playgroup, to be fair. But here's what I find can happen. I sit here in the lead in a game, saying I've got the most points, I don't have to fight. The other 2 players should be fighting. And if I do nothing, the other 2 players often end up just kind of noodling around or choosing not to fight. Now, this is very tunnel vision. This is not personally about the people I'm playing with. It's just tunnel vision, what I see happen. And then the dealer sumos. And they sumo again, and they sumo. And once the dealer sumos once, like, oh, I don't want to deal into that dealer. And then the dealer goes on this rampage of sumoing, and my points get hoovered up by the dealer, and now I'm not in first place anymore. So I'm sitting here saying, I am not going to just sit here and let nothing happen. Nothing's happened for 2 rows. This is an Armel game in B3 where no one's called for 2 rows of discards. Something's weird. People aren't doing what they need to do. I'm going to do what needs to happen. We're going to play. I'm going to go. And so I
Gemma is unhappy with this situation.
Gemma is very unhappy. And to be fair, this would be suicide in a lot of other play environments. Well, the thing is, it's only East 2, and if the game doesn't move, I'm just going to lose points. So I call the 6. I throw the West time. It's time to go.
I've heard that Americans are direct. So here we go.
The 4-man is thrown. The 4-man is thrown from the dealer as well to shift to 1, 2, 3, 4. This is another bit of a weird thing where it's like if you'd held that 5, you'd have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You'd be in a better spot. But the dealer shifts over to 1, 2, 3. 7-man player left. They don't want it. And I call it because now I'm Tenpai.
So he wasn't thinking about Chitoi then, I guess.
Oh no, it's a dumb Tenpai.
And your Tenpai
on the door only.
Door only.
Yeah. Oh, this is dumb. Chiso gets thrown because I just threw it. And now the dealer gets their 7. And this is another little bit of a sad time for them because they'd have 7, 8, 9, 8, 8. They'd have 2 complete sets.
I know, but you've got a lot of pairs here. You've got a lot of pairs here. Yeah. So I still think that was right. No, I think that was the right call.
I throw the. I'm basically pushed here to the point where I'm gonna just do something or not. Here's 8. Here's 1. So this is again drops the 1 pin to keep 6, 7, 9, 3, 4, 4, 5, 5, 7. I'm not sure what the goal is over here right now. Because this also drops the Itsu potential.
I think Itsu was pretty far away when you're at the, second to last row of the second stage of the game.
Probably, but I still would say the 9-man is a much better thing to chuck at this point. If you're going, like the 9-man's probably the better thing to throw.
Maybe just misread.
Possibly.
Maybe. I mean, if it's me, I for some reason always mistake the 8 and the 9. I don't know why anymore, but I've done it in a live game as well. I picked up a tile. I'm like, there's not 5 9s in this set. So there's definitely a problem here.
3-pin comes to player left, and now they have 5 pairs, and they have a vaguely tantalizing potential of Rion Peiko.
I mean, if they'd have kept the 7-man and
backing up for, I don't think.
If they'd have kept the 7-man and the 8-man, they'd have been Tenpai on Chitoi.
Oh, you're right.
Mm-hmm.
But here they ditch their 9-so.
Mm-hmm.
So it looks like they're looking to move towards... I'm not sure. I'm actually not sure what the plan is here right now. Because they've moved from being Ishanten to not.
Mm.
And they also broke a pair, so they backed off of Chitoi.
Chichiral does it too. I know. I don't know why. I don't know why I do that. It's really the 8 and the 6 I'd understand doing it more, but I think it's more damaging at the 8 and the 9 because they're adjacent, and you just glance at it and you're like, 6, 7, 8, but it's not. It's 6, 7, 9.
And I'm a little confused as to what this discard was putting out there. I get a 2-pin. I just throw it. Here's another 5 for our dealer, and now they throw the 6-man. out of 6, 7, 9. They are making this flush happen, but I still, again, losing the 1 pin is still a little strange to me. Because, I mean, they also have 2 Onko.
They could have, because you've not got Tobby, they could have called the 2 pin from you as well.
Yeah.
Yeah. Don't know.
This could have been pushed into a flush. 2-man comes out from the dealer. West comes out. 4-man goes out. Another 5 pin. Which they're just, well, now they have 3, 4, 5, 4, 4, 5, 5, 5, 7, 8, which actually, thank you. I appreciate when people choose to not just con everything and actually integrate it into their hand. Super correct.
It's a good shape.
Super smart. Thank you. So now they're really close to this flush.
2-man
again for dealer.
It's unfortunate for them that they're not going to get those green dragons.
Yeah.
Boom.
So at this point, South comes out, and the dealer calls this South. Which is weird. Again, it's a little weird because it doesn't actually give them any locked-in value for their hand.
Yeah, no. But they are a dealer. We're in the final stage of the game. They want to stay Tempai.
They might as well stay Tempai.
I think it's a good move.
That's true.
I think it's a good
Tempai's
move.
A good move. And they throw the North, which they don't need. Now someone's called, and now I'm like, okay, well,
why not throw the East, though? Why not throw the East? You could still draw another North.
Boom.
That's true. And the East is definitely safe on whatever dumb. Well, the North and the East are both safe on whatever dumb crap I might be doing.
Oh no, but there's 3 of the East stacks, so you're not going to draw another.
But the East are entirely dead. But then again, they could be saying on the opposite, which is what I would be saying right now. I want that East to take care of Epot's fears if one of these closed players decides to reach.
I know, but the North is still pretty safe in that case.
Yeah, it is.
It is. And the 8s are pretty safe as well. I don't know. I just would have thrown the East in case I drew the North. I mean, you have got yourself into an awful position where you have to throw the Dora.
Dave knows that what he's done is aggressively pushed this game forward, and I'm basically dangling my points out over the table, hoping someone makes something cheap and not particularly useful so that the game advances. I'll be super blunt about it. That's kind of where I'm going. We need a big old stack of quarters.
Where's my quarters?
9 pin comes out. 8 pin comes out. North comes out because North isn't going to help anyone. The dealer draws a 3, so that comes out. So we're all just kind of winding down. Chun comes out. 3-man comes out. 6-man comes out. 7-man out. Everyone's just not okay. Now this player throws the other 9 so now they have 1, 2, 3, 2, 3, 4, and they're back where they started. Oh no, they're not. They're Tempai actually.
They're Tempai, yeah.
On the 4 so 5 so, but it's a non-valid. Like they don't have a Yaku.
Yeah, but that's fine.
But it's fine this late in the game. They got back to Tempai so they can win the points at the end of the hand. So they're not in a bad way.
Yeah, you've got 2 draws left for them. Oh no, they got 3 draws.
Oh, I forgot. I absolutely resist this dumb temptation of conning the 6. And I'll look in the wall later and see if it was maybe not as dumb as I thought. But I say to myself, again, part of the reason I'm doing this is that I know where the Dora are, right? I know that I have 2 of them. I know no one else has a big pile of them. Do I want to change that fact? And the answer is no.
But if you'd have canned the 6, you'd have denied our friend on the left another draw. Abcarnus, thank you. I am a little bit sickly, but I am all right. It's just the general winter has suddenly descended on us finally, so I'm a little bit on the not groggy. What's the word? Like congested. That's the word I'm looking for. Thank you.
It's true, but I don't know. You're right. Conning the 6 would deny player left another draw. I didn't think about that at the time. I still don't necessarily care.
But so I'm going to give you the flip side. So I didn't finish off because I got distracted by telling people how I'm feeling because I felt so special. Sorry. So on the flip side, you've denied the player on the left their final draw. However, if you had canned, you would have given East the opportunity to have the last tile draw Yaku.
Okay, yeah, that's good.
So this is something that professionals do think about is, if I can at this point, if I call at this point, how does that change where the last tile draw is going to be? Now, I would say that even if you think that the player on your left is ready and dangerous, it's still better to deny the East player the last tile draw Yaku.
That's fair. I'm gonna continue my broader anti-con crusade by saying that all of that stuff is cool, but I think that a lot of times when people talk about conning, they'll say a lot of really fidgety stuff about who they're giving a draw and who they're denying a draw, and forget about the fact that they're also adding 4 to 8 Dora to the table, and you need to think about whether that's going to be okay or not okay. And my estimation here was it is a 100% chance in my mind that it is not okay. I know I'm in a risky spot. I know I have a high chance of dealing in. The one safety that I have is that I know where the Dora are, and I will never have to throw a Dora. So at bare minimum, I don't have to worry about a weird Dora bomb hand. But do I want to give someone else the chance to turn their Tanyao into Tanyao Dora 3 because I flipped a tile to gain nothing? I'm not doing it. I'm throwing the 6.
And Chiral says that Rinshan was a 6-man, so.
Oh, well, then I wouldn't have got. I want to know what the new indicator was actually. That's what I'd be curious about.
We'll have a look in a
I throw
second.
the 6. It goes.
Come.
And at this point, oh wait, it doesn't matter. I get to find out. I get to find out what the second indicator is. At this point, drawing the 2, so I think, I don't know. This player now decides it's con time.
Come.
So now they con the 5-pin, making the 8-man a Dora, which I have one. Hooray! And there's one in this player's hand as well. So I guess there would have been 2 extras, though. Now I'm curious about what the next one back was. But
Well, no. Well, yeah, no. I guess no, because their draw didn't impact whether they do a 5-pin can or not. I don't know. I don't know.
So now they draw the 6-man, which they immediately get rid of because they don't want it. I will never con again, please don't. The dealer picks up the 7 and throws it. Player left picks up the Haku and decides they'd like to stay Tenpai. And
that sucks for
the
them.
first Dora visible of the game, which goes to me, which becomes Haku Dora 4 for Mangan.
That does suck for them, though. I feel for them. Like
it would have been the 9-man as the next Dora indicator, so it would have been 1-man that became a 1-man is one in people's possession. And for the 4th con, it would have been another Haku. Hooray! Let's con more. Yeah, this is another one. This is not. Just break your Tenpai, man. It's the Dora Dragon. You've seen none all game. You have no idea where they are.
We just had the conversation though that the second place is really important here, right? He doesn't want to fold. He doesn't want to lose those points to this East player. I feel for him. I really sympathise with that throw.
Well, I have a lot of sympathy because this sucks.
And Bionel's right. He would have, and it would have changed it so the dealer would have had the Dora pair.
Yeah.
So
that's true.
Well done for not canning, Dave. You managed to win, even though you were disagreeing with Can on ideological reasons.
Victory out of from the clutches of defeat. But like this, when this happens to me, it sucks. When I draw a tile like this in this situation, it sucks because I'm like, my game is over. I've just picked up this tile, and it's not even in my mind. Picking up this tile is a hand ender. It is over. I lose this hand. I will not be Tenpai. Goodbye. I cannot. Because in a hand like this, everyone's been fussing around all hand. No Dora have come out. East call the South, which means they think they have a Callie hand. Like, I could not. And I've called 2 tiles, frankly. 2 players think they have Callie hands, and I've seen none of the Dora Dragon. I can't see why you. I can't see why.
Chiral makes a good point that position matter much, as being above 30k more important. I mean. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, to be honest, I don't really know, and I probably should check before I come on these streams how the whole sort of league structure is making people play. You know,
it's one of the awkward things about the league structure is that there's an underwater thing where it's like if only one player.
No, that I'm used to, but I don't know how those players in that are reacting to that structure, right? So Chiral's right. If they are reacting in one way, then yes, just being above 30k is more important. I mean, it depends how tight it is really around, and it depends how close you are. I'm not sure how many more games you guys have got to play. Like, there's a lot of factors in there at that point. Because as you get towards the end, and depending on who you're playing, who's close to each other, then it might be that winning that extra 3,000 points is important. Is it 3,000?
It can be, but it's also still East 2. It's not that late in the game. Like, it's not like you're down to the last wire. So it is what it is. I get more points, so I'm happy. I've advanced the game. I've gotten more points.
High five the gods for Dave.
This is not a bad high pie by any means. I am pretty okay with this high pie. Let's see. Our dealer has 7, 8, 8, 9, 6, 7, 2, 3, West, West. Like our dealer has an
I hope
actually
I hope
pretty
you can't
strong
hear
high
my
pie as well.
son losing his shit behind
I can
downstairs.
hear that your son is not so thrilling or so
He's
thrilled.
you know, he's probably watching the stream on the TV downstairs, going, "No, Dave, why?"
Yeah, he's really upset with my play. So
Sorry,
I get a 6 man and
there's
throw the
infant.
3. I'm gonna hustle a little more because we don't have too much time left.
Yeah.
We should get through the rest. So player right throws a 9 to hold the Haku. Throws the West to hold the 2. Dealer doesn't take the West because it's useless. Dealer throws Chun.
They do
West
that.
'cause West
They
is
do
basically
that
useless.
index. Often at
South
2 in the
goes a
morning.
pair of Haku for player right.
Thanks, guy.
Out.
Thank you. Thank you for your patience.
1 man out. It's not a 2, 2, 6, 6, 3, 3, 7, 7. This 7, 8, 9 is bothering me, but I got a lot of pairs. Chun is gone.
Yeah.
Haku gets called by player right who wants to get going. I think they want to get some points under their belt, which makes some sense. Chun is out. North is out. South is out. They throw the 1 to hold 4, 4, 5. Yeah, it looks like they're trying to make a hand have. They have a door or two. Hots is here. 7, 8, 9 gets flattened out to hold 6, 7, 7. And here I'm like, oh yeah, this is maybe Chitoy, right? We got 5 pairs. Might as well throw this out. It can be Chitoy. It can be Toy Toy Tanyao. Like, I can get my 6 in to get 6, 7, 8 back. Like, sure, I'll take it. I got options. 9 is out. Now East is available. And player across throws the door to keep the pair of Easts, which is a little surprising to me because I probably would have thrown that 1 pin hanging out on its own. But see you later, Dora. 7 comes out, at which point I call it because I'm like, all right, let's just get this done. Again, I want to keep people feeling like these hands have to go. I don't want people feeling like they can sit around.
I like you, Zardy. I like you. I don't. Yeah, it's my favorite collab. The stars align just for me.
Now the 1 pin comes out and the 5 man gets kept. 2, 3, 4 here for the dealer. The dealer is doing what I was watching them in this game. I have a lot of empathy for this dealer as they're like stolidly like marching towards a proper tempai. Like every single time they're making these like totally good cuts. They're like, all right, we're gonna cut off the edge tiles. We're gonna get our sets together. It's gonna happen.
You got some of the better characters. You mean the 14-year-olds were dressed as Playboy bunnies? I got words for that. Come.
So the Haku now gets conned by player
Dave's
right.
ignoring mine. He knows the words. He's ignoring me. He's desperately trying to direct attention to the 10 hole. Even though someone's canning. I mean, canning basically is Mahjong Soul. We said Mahjong Soul, and that's why they canned.
Yeah.
Change
so now this player has two more tiles.
Oh, those are skins. Sorry, those are skins. Boom.
They call the 9. They drop the 5. So now this door is going to be their pair. So they're looking at having 5, 6 something in the pins. Pair of door, maybe 3 door if they get it. Who knows? Player cross drops the 8 pin. Dealer seems to be not wanting to deal with this that much, and they decide they're going to drop the West to shift over to having the 9 man. But again, this is a good move that you should, if you don't do this, you should know you can do this. Where you can like get an extra tile like this and start shifting your pair over to see if you can play it safe for a little while and hold on and see whether things are going to come out well for you. I don't know if the dealer had to push this hard because the 9 man is safe against pretty much everyone. And they could have held the West for later and been Ishan 10 because they really want to reach. If I'm the dealer, I'm desperate to reach this hand because of all the Uro. Hots goes out. Come. Another con, which now makes 1 man Dora. This hand to my right is looking pretty scary. East, East, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, so this hand is Ishan 10 right now. Player across. And I take the 2 to get Tenpai because this will get me right to Tenpai on the 6 man or the 3 pin. And I'm just like, forget it. Even though I know the 7 is dangerous and I don't like it. But I do it because I'm a daring person. The 4 comes out. 8 comes out. And here I draw the 4. And now I shift my weight to the 2, 5, 8 pin weight because a 3-sided weight is awesome. And this actually gets me a good opportunity to win. The 3 pin comes out right after I throw my 3 pin, which makes me mildly sad, but maybe it's because I threw my 3 pin. It's a known safe tile, sure. And now player cross doesn't need this 5 pin and throws it. And so I can win Tanyao.
No one likes you at this table. No one likes you.
I do not like this nonsense, and I'm glad it's
Dave is going to write a book about how to make friends and influence people in Mahjong.
Yeah.
and
The
you just do
bomb
the
has been
opposite.
defused. I do not want this to happen. I'm sorry. It's over, Tanyao. And now I'm the dealer, and this is where I start, which tells me that a fast hand is very viable here.
Honestly, like, if you were any of the players who were playing Dave, like, I am on your side, because these are the games that nightmares are made of. They're already dead.
What? But this is a structural challenge within the Armel League structure, though. I get more points in Armel the more points I get. I've locked in the Uma. The more points I get out of these players, the better I do. So it behooves me to keep trying. I don't like Uma's small enough that like plus the plus 20 I get. So if I'm the only player above 30k and I push everyone else down below 30k, I get plus 20 Uma and whatever points I got.
See, this is why I prefer Tobby on League games, because
they
I
end.
don't.
There's a maximum.
I don't. So I mean, not having Tobby in a exhibition tournament is great, because of course you're restricted to the number of games you play. Let's say in most EMA events it's between 8 and 10, right? But in a league game, I'm not sure how many Armel's playing. Is it there 20, 30?
26. It's 6 sessions of 4 games each, so it's 24.
Yeah. Right. Okay. So it gives an opportunity for someone just to pump 2 games just constantly, and then just really maybe not play very well at all.
It's rough. I think it's very rough. Because yeah, when people start aggressively, like desperately trying to get back from being in a bad spot, and when you're desperate, when you're in last like that, you're going to take risks you don't otherwise take because you need to, but then you're going to deal in sometimes because you need to. So
Chiao doesn't think you should have. Sorry, you can't have Toby and sliding Uma. I don't know.
It's a structural thing to think about. I'm kind of stopping at a moment. Oh, I see what happened here. Player cross doesn't want to throw the 1-so because it is the Dora.
It's a massive.
So they instead cut the 6, and I feel like I might have cut out the 1-2 man set out of this, but it's not insane that they threw the 6 out.
I mean, I love floating Uma personally. I think it creates some really nice. I feel like in league games in Japan, it used to be that. I feel league games it used to be that you had Toby and floating, but it's been so long since I've been able to play in Japan now, because and also I don't think I remember anything before COVID and lockdown. So let me have a look if I can find. Oh no, it's Japan. It's JP Moll's website.
Yeah. That's the problem, Carol. The problem with underwater is that underwater you are punished really hard for someone else sumoing, which is just like something you really have so little control over in many cases.
You see now you're not thinking the Japanese Mahjong way, which is why you're thinking control. Yes, you did, because you weren't fast enough to stop them, or you didn't play it in a way that stopped them from making tenpai. I'm serious. That's the exact conversation you will have. Well, you should have played faster, or why weren't you showing that you were ready? This is on you. Sorry.
I mean, I actually see that.
I raised my voice partly because I can hear them saying that to me now, going, "Well, this is your fault.
What did you do? You made them sumo.
Exactly. If you'd have reached that hand, then they wouldn't have done that, and then they wouldn't have sumoed." And now I'm looking like Garth with the pointing finger, because I'm pretty sure
snapping Garth point.
He relays this lesson in the exact same way as I do. And this is your fault, and you're sitting there and you're sort of like,
and it's your fault.
How can I control what tiles they draw? But you can, and that they're not entirely wrong, because your behavior impacts the behavior of the other players.
I agree with you. I think it really depends on how closely knit the players are in terms of their like observation and understanding of what's going on at the table. But at very high levels, yes, I entirely agree that there's a lot you can do to kind of like push people around a little bit in their impression of what you're doing, their impression of how close you are, and like manipulate where they want to go and where they don't.
But I'm just looking up the league rules. Sorry, I'm that's why I'm looking at my phone, not because I've become bored of you.
Bored of it. Player cross throws out the Dora here because they have the 3, 4, 5 and now they have 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 pin and a 3 pin. And if I were them, I'd be thinking Itsu. I'd love to turn this hand into Itsu because that's where my value will come from. It's not going to be Pinfu with these Hatsus, so it might be Itsu. But the thing is, if I'm keeping the Hatsus, then maybe I'm planning on calling the Hatsus. And if I'm calling the Hatsus, maybe I keep the Dora. Because if I'm calling, I might as well integrate that Dora to get some value back out of what I traded away for the call. Either way, they locked in. They're doing 3-4-5. And player left here does not call the Dora. Good restraint, because they'd rather do what they're doing. Again, make their hand full of good shapes. We got a 6 in. We throw out the north. We're doing well. I get rid of this 8 pin because I'm done. I have like a bunch of pairs of stuff. I'm wondering where I'm going to go with this.
Why can't I see
5 comes
the
out to keep
topic?
it 2-3. Haku comes out, and I resist the aggressive urge to con the Haku. What's stopping the right player intentionally dealing into Dave to minimize their losses? Well, there's 2 things. One is that they'd have to figure out what I'm waiting on to deal into me, which is just fundamentally a hard thing to do for anyone. And then, yeah, I'm dealer now, so I'll just wrench on forever. And also, because there's no Toby, like, they will probably do just as well aggressively trying to win their own hands very quickly and not caring if they deal in because at least it happens quickly. I don't know. I don't think attempting to deal into me is like a good strategy for them in any case.
I don't think attempting to deal into people is a good strategy.
Yeah, I fundamentally don't. 2, 4, 4, 5, 7. Tuso comes out. There's another 9 pin. I don't care.
Why can't I find out why the Toby is in the, like, am I just an idiot? Oh, I might just be an idiot. I'm going to have to come back to people on that conversation.
So what's Toby? So Toby is bankruptcy. It is when you go below, when you have 0 points and need to give someone points, the game will end. You'll still pay that full sum of points, but the game will end at that point. And the good part about Toby is it limits the maximum amount of points any player can really extract from the table. The bad thing about Toby can be that it means that if one player either plays really terribly and just gives all their points away or is aggressively targeted by the other player, it's possible to kind of end the game early before everyone's gotten their deal, before the game's gotten around, and you can get some bad edge cases out of that as well.
I can't find it. So
player right throws their hots. Player across calls the hots, which I was pretty sure was their plan to begin with, but I feel like they should have held that Dora to maybe make a pair out of, and they throw the 1-man. I now know my hots is very
Toby was on the best move for right to deal in right now.
If Toby was on right, maybe just I don't know, why not just try to get points in a way that's a little bit hazardous and because it's a league score, right? Like, they still want to get their number as high as they possibly can. So they might as well just play real hard, swing for a
Wait. Why? Sorry, I don't understand. Why, if Toby is on, is it a good idea to deal in and die?
Yeah, like, I don't think unless the idea is it prevents everyone else from maybe getting points. But that still seems a little tenuous to me.
Oh, I see what you mean. I mean, that's really not dreaming, though. You can come back from this. I've come back from this. I've come back from not even being able to reach.
It is and actually possible to come back from this. I see. Lose less players around the 3rd game. You really, I believe the way this ends up working for
that's a good point. That's interesting.
Is that you end up only costing second place 5,000 points. If all 3 players are under 30k, the Uma is 4th place -15, 3rd place -5, 2nd place 0, 1st place +20. So I get an extra. I would in this case would be 1st. I get an extra 20. I get an extra 5, and 2nd place loses 5. But again, this is weird because now you're giving extra points to the person who's already winning the game to hurt the person in 2nd place, who you I guess have some kind of serious grudge. Like, it just doesn't feel like.
And you've got a dealership as well waiting.
Yeah, you'd be better off, again, in my opinion, trying to build a big hand and maybe going down swinging. I would think it was not at all crazy if last place was playing real aggressive, trying to make something big because that's what they just need to do, and risking the loss on Toby and like saying that might happen.
I think Shiraz's got a good point there. Shiraz's got a good point. I like the point. I like the point.
Saves you 5,000.
Yeah,
but you don't get anything different. Like if you're in 4, if they lose right now, if they lose 2,000 points, right, they end up -0.4, and Toby happens, they will be -30.4 -15. -45.4. It doesn't matter. The fact that the Uma switches, the Uma doesn't save you anything because it just goes from going to the 2nd place player to the 1st place player. You just reallocated the points between 2 other players. So you don't actually lose anything.
Yes, if you can continue to play the game, I mean, you're in mitigation here anyway. Everything you're doing now is in mitigation. If you can actually continue the game, let's say that I see. Oh no, I see what you mean. So right would throw into the player to his right, your opposite, and then someone will go with 30k. No.
Oh, I see. If I'm sorry, if you want to push someone over 30k.
No, he doesn't. He wants to end the game whilst people are below, so he shares the Uma out. I see. I don't know. I maybe if you're at the very end of the league and you knew exactly what you needed to get to stay in your position, yes.
Maybe,
yes. However, at this point, you probably better off mitigating the disaster and getting into third or second place.
You're getting anything. Because, again, every point you get is 1 point of league. Every 1,000 you get is 1 point of league rank. So
I mean, let's pretend Dave is a problem at the moment because of his crazy ass luck. But let's imagine that his luck has to end at some point. You could easily get into third place at this point. Quite easily.
That's true. Third place is 18,000. Like a Hanuman Roan does it right now. And that's not an impossible feat.
Mahjong back says no, and they could cooperate one of the other players going for a cheap hand so they can leave Dave's dealer. Yeah, I mean, don't cooperate. But certainly, I think that players should be thinking here that they all have to go fast to stop Dave.
Yeah, they should be thinking they cannot allow me to sit here and be the dealer. Player left gets their third. Player left has a closed Anko of Dora. So they drop the 2. Looks like they're making the 4 pins their pair. I get this 7, and I'm a little happy about that, because now I have 6, 7, 8. Cool, I can drop this Hots, which is done. 9-man comes out. 2 pin is kept, so it looks like Itsu is a concern over here, although it's going to be a little rough to get here, but they do have a lot of different tiles they can draw to get Tenpai. They can draw 9, 8, 6, 5, 3, 2 pin to get Tenpai. So they're making it happen. They're trying to get done. The 8 goes out. I call the 8 now because this advances my hand, so why not? Again, I don't see anyone else doing much. I'm like, I might as well just go. Let's see what happens. East comes out. 7 comes out.
Yeah, I think you got so. Yeah, I don't think you're wrong, Tyrell. I don't think you're wrong. I'd like to think about it some more though.
So here we have 6, 7, 8. We have the 4, 5. We have 6, 7. So this player right is now Ishan 10. 5-man comes out. 9-man comes out. 9-man I don't really care about. It comes out. 6-man. Everyone's just kind of throwing what they get. 2, 3, 4, 5 is an interesting spot. I actually might have liked this 2, 3, 4, 5 weight for the pair, but they pass on it. East comes out. I don't need this 4. This is the point where everyone doesn't need anything they're getting. Everyone's hand is close, and you can tell. You can feel it. They're all just drawing and discarding whatever they get. 1 comes out. 2 comes out. Here's a 6, 7, 8. And here's the reach. And this ends up being reach Pinfu. Okay. On a 963 pin weight.
Would I have reached it? Probably not.
I don't know. I'm pretty sure the challenge is, that gives more of their points to the table. Sorry, this is an Armel game that I played where I won a Yakuman, and we're just talking about what happened in the rest of the
I just think that reaching on that means that no one's going to throw your 3, 6, or 9.
It's possible, but you might just sumo it. So now you get reach sumo Pinfu. Like I don't blame
Okay,
them.
but if you didn't reach it, then you just have sumo Pinfu. It's I don't know.
And no Ura.
I mean, yeah,
it's
okay.
this point in the game, and they have nothing. I think that making
you're
a push
just trying
like
to
this
change
is
your
not
luck.
irrational.
Okay.
Yeah, they want to make something happen. They're going to reach it. It's a 3-sided weight. They've got good odds of making it go. And if they get it, they get Ura. So they got some odds. There's a Pinfu hand. They got some odds of hitting Ura. Like,
okay, play for the
sumo.
Okay, fair enough. Fair enough. I mean, I personally wouldn't. I don't think that might be a style issue.
2-man comes. Now this player gets.
I probably guess I'd still be tempted to fold. I guess that's the thing. I don't want to lock myself into this nonsense too much. Anyway, keep going, Dave. Ignore me.
The player left gets their third set, so now they're Ishan 10 with that Pong of Dora, which is really good for them. 1-man, so I decide that I am not going to risk this pointlessly, and I throw the tile that's just been thrown. Might as well not deal into an E-Pots if I can help it. 3-man comes out. North comes out. This player is now technically Tenpai, but they do not reach. They're waiting on only the 6-pin, and now they're just hanging out.
But, okay, you reach that one. That one I reach. Because you've got no Yaku otherwise. And you've got 3 Dora. So you reach.
Showing my incredible Mahjong skills. Draw the deadly 9-pin, but throw
The
the 1-man.
Sanshoku. People, you're manifesting Sanshoku way too much at the moment.
Yeah,
Oh,
they
he
shouldn't have
threw
thrown
it.
that
He
7,
threw
actually.
it.
They
Oh,
would have
I
had
see
it.
what
They
you mean.
had
Yeah,
the
okay, yeah.
Sanshoku. To be fair, they threw the 7 probably because it was Suji on the reach tile, and I
Yeah.
think they were thinking defense. But you're right, they had the Sanshoku
Wait a minute,
option.
but they could have thrown the Forso, which was completely safe on the reach tile.
They didn't have the Forso.
Oh, they didn't have. Oh, right. He did, right?
But they wanted the 2-sided weight because they weren't thinking. They drew the 7, and they should have thought 5, 6, 7 Sanshoku. I'll throw the 4. I'll hang out. I'll be ready. Yeah, they could have been in a good spot, but they didn't. So I dodged because I'm super smart.
And then they
I hold
wouldn't
on
have
to
had
that
to
9.
reach. And then they wouldn't have had to reach, and they could have hung out here with 3 Dora, Sanshoku.
Each.
Oh, you still want to reach though, because get Honeyman.
So now they
you
reach.
reach anyway. You'd reach anyway.
And at this, I'm so smart. At this point, I'm like, okay, Okay, so here's what I'm thinking at this point. 2 players are in reach. I want to keep my points. Probably one of them will deal into the other. And I kind of don't care. It'll move the game on, which is still good for me. So I'm done here. These 3 Hakus are becoming 3 tickets out of this mess. I am done. So I start dealing the Hakus out. And now our players go, and here goes on.
No, the Uma is tight. It's like a JPML League Uma. But if you ever watch Jen on stream, you should maybe ask her about JPML, because she obviously goes.
Oh, yeah, she knows a lot about
she's
JPML.
in Japan, and she knows a lot, yeah.
And so this becomes Reach Sumo Pin Fudora, which is a 7,200 point get for the player who was in last, well, with the Reach deposit. This ends up being a good win for them. And I pay a little more than I might otherwise. But, yeah, well, this is a great thing about Pinfu, because your hands are all set. So you're across a lot of tiles, got a good chance of hitting Uma. So this was a good play for them. You know, Reach, 3-sided weight, Sumo, Dora, ends up being, what is it? 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 72. Oh, it's 1326 with the continuance stuff. No, I'm sorry. I'm just wrong. It's 1326. There's no continuance. It's fine. It's good. They get points. Now they're back up to 7,800. All right, cool. So my deal's gone, but I'm okay with it. It's fine. I have this hand, which says to me again, you can push a fast Tanyo hand and start being, Tanyo Dave, who just tries to get the game to end. Our new dealer has a pretty intense-looking hand here, actually. This looks like a really intense flush opportunity for them. Player across and player left. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Player left has Kokushi opportunity.
That's a better Kokushi opportunity than yours was.
It is a better Kokushi opportunity than mine was. So we see some player left. It looks like might be seriously considering this Kokushi opportunity.
Well, I hope he is.
I'm like, all right, we got some trimmings we can do. Dealers obviously think about that man flush, which is a smart thing to be thinking about. We got 7, 8, 9 built across. Oh my god. All right, yeah. Player left is going, and I'm also going. I'm like, it's Tanyo time. Let's go. Let's see what we can push. Because they're dealing middle tiles. So if they're gonna deal middle tiles, like let's friggin' do it. Cross makes 3, 4, 5. Here's an 8. North, I don't care. Player rights doesn't care about things that aren't man tiles. 8 out, keeper 5. Here's the 4, which I'll let go. The 9 I'll let go. Discarding down to get close to the man flush. Player across reaches on a 3-man only, which is a little bit interesting. 8-man out. I throw the hots. 8-man 5. Okay, yeah. It's they want to counter Kokushi here. I throw the 2-man because it's CG on the 5. It's better or worse, but again, it's like I'm in this, so I'm in it. Here's all the 3. Wow, all the 3-mans are over here except this one, and I think this one's going to come out of my hand because I don't know what else I can do. This player decides I can at least thin down on the east because I don't want to throw a 7 haphazardly. I at this point throw the hard 5-pin because I'm just not feeling so great about this. Or maybe I'm smarter than I think. Hots out, 2 out. They start throwing their 3s. I wonder why the 3. Oh, they risk it and get away with it. I throw the 9 because that's at the other end of everything, and I have to risk something and get away with something, so I might as well do... What I'm thinking here is I might as well do the thing that won't give them Tanyo. Like, if I have to do something risky, let's just do that. 9 out, 7 out. 7-man is now safe. safe. Shouldn't safe. We're all just going to be 3 safe. Looks like we're all... I throw the 1 to keep 3, 4. I'm a little bit back in it. At this point, I've incorporated the 3, which is cute. I can throw the 6, the 3, and the 9 are out. Sure, why not? I don't want to throw the 1. Although I think I might now that the 2s and the 3s are so clear. No, I just finish up. I got the 5s back. It's fine. Here's a 5, and at this point, I'm happy to have 2 safe tiles. I'm not calling this. So the 7 I already know is good. It's come out. The 6 pin comes out. That's safe now, so I think I throw the 6 pin. So I'm kind of noodling around being happy to have safes, because I just think it's not worth my time.
Yeah, not a Tempai on that full flush.
Here's a 3, 4, 5. I'm actually Ishan 10 now. So hooray. But I'm going to throw these 5s and keep the 1s because, again, like, it's not worth risking it. I know my 3s are safe also.
It's good thing you didn't notice the
would have been a great hand if I was just willing to push.
He did throw that 9 bamboo.
Yeah, it's a good thing I didn't notice a Kokushi attempt. The Kokushi attempt, once they started throwing these wins, it was pretty much done in my opinion. Although this is not just a Kokushi attempt, to be fair. This is a 4 wins. This could have been a lesser 4 wins if everything went their way.
Yeah.
No, he didn't make it to Tenpai.
I might have to go on time now, I'm afraid.
Dealer made it to Tenpai. Yeah. Okay. So we can finish reviewing the South round. Because we have a bunch of South rounds here left next week. If we want to do the other side, because it is
unless you get Yakuman, in which case then.
I do not get a Yakuman. I get something that looks suspiciously.
No, but you might get a Yakuman this week, and then we won't bother with your South round.
Oh, there's no games this week.
Oh, okay.
It's Thanksgiving.
And also you got the Ampeiko, so.
I got Ryampeiko. It's over. I can quit Mahjong satisfied after getting Ryampeiko. All right. Well, thank you all for watching. I'll let Gemma return to her normal life, her normal Mahjong life, where she can hang out and be a person.
No, I mean, I'm not going to be able to play now for a few days, because that's going to haunt me, that is.
You can take my game. You can play my games in the next 4 games that I got to deal with. But yeah, it's generally 1 session every other week. I think it's 2 weeks worth of scheduling for each session, but I could be wrong about that. I'm taking just another cheat.
Yeah, I just play Mahjong Soul. Like I'm secretly, I just can't stop playing Mahjong Soul.
She can't stay away from it. She can't. She needs it. She needs to get it. I was so mad when someone's like, "Oh, my favorite character is someone Nikaido," and I'm like, I know those ladies and they're nice. Don't steal their name.
I know, right?
I'm like they're always very nice to me. Why would you steal their name?
They're super nice. They're super nice ladies.
These lines are gonna be taken out. Oh no. Well, I gleefully await the clips.
I presume that every line said in Mahjong Soul is to be taken out of context, right? Oh, it's all just suggestive bollocks. Back to the bollocks. Multiple bollocks.
All right. Well, thank you everyone for joining us. Again, I should let Gemma get back to her life so she can be a human being. But we'll be back next week. We'll do the other half of this game.
Yes, thank you for joining us.
Exciting game to look at. Or feel free to tweet at USPML or something about what's going on. If there's a particular game you want to see reviewed or something you want to see us talk about, I'll just remind everyone in my voice that we're going to be at PAX Unplugged. There'll be more advertising about that later. And have a lovely weekend. Have fun. And we'll see you soon.
Enjoy your Mahjong Soul.
Bye, everyone. Enjoy everything.
Yeah, thanks, Rudy. Thanks, Zaddy.
Yeah, we're good to be back. We're back.
Yeah, it's glad to be back. Bye. No, okay. Don't complain. Don't complain, Chirel. That's literally all we ever do anyway. Yeah, I don't think I know how to do anything that's not complaining. Right.
That's what we do. Right.
Where's the music?
Okay. Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Yes, Epcarnus, I'll catch up with you a little later.
Bye. Oh no, we've got actual music. I don't have to do music.